have decent credit. But if you're carrying $500 a month in a car payment,
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Thanks for joining us, America. We're so glad you're with us. Rachel Cruz, #1 best-selling author, Ramsey personality, co-host of the Smart Money Happy Hour. Ramsey Network production is super popular. My daughter is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jacob starts this hour in Oklahoma City. Hi, Jacob. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I'm 25. My wife is 28. We have about
825-5225. Jacob starts this hour in Oklahoma City. Hi, Jacob. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I'm 25. My wife is 28. We have $13,273 in debt. We are going to pay that all off by December.
Good.
In July, we will be moving into my grandfather's home, where he is going to let us pay rent to him, but we will basically be able to take all the money that we pay in rent and put it back into the property. The property sits on about an acre and then has surrounding 40 acres of pasture. And we would like to start farming and ranching sometime next year. Currently, we make about $92,000 a year, but sometime next year, my day job will give me a raise to about $100,000 a year. I work for my parents' roofing company, and I will basically be taking over the company. So then at that point, I'm surrounding 40 acres of pasture, $92,000 a year, but sometime next year, my day job will give me a raise to about $100,000 a year. I work for my parents' roofing company, and I will basically be taking over the company. So then at that point, I'm surrounding 40 acres of pasture, $92,000 a year, but sometime next year, my day job will give me a raise to about $100,000 a year. I work for.
Cool. So it's just showing that up as a little thingy thing.
Kind of baffled because I've got so many blessings going on in our life. It's a lot of responsibility to take on. But my big question is, what should I do with the extra money that I'm going to be making? Should I put that toward the ranch? Should I put that toward, after, of course, I follow through with the rest of the baby steps?
Yeah, let me make sure I understand the deal. You're moving into property that is not titled to you, and you're going to invest money into property that is not in your name.
So it's in our family trust.
I don't care. It's not in your name. Why is it in a family trust?
Well, my grandparents are still alive.
Mm-hmm.
They have it set up in the family trust to where it goes to. The trust will basically have my dad as the executor when they pass away. But the
trust has a trustee today. Who is the trustee today?
So the trustee today would be my grandmother, because I believe the trust name is in my grandpa's name.
Okay.
And then once she passes away, it would go to my father as the beneficiary.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would go, I would assume, to me.
Yeah.
But we've got a meeting with the lawyer that we're supposed to have set up.
Let me tell you, there's no possible way. These people are trying to be sweet, they're trying to plan well, and they're trying to be generous to you, but there is no possible way you should put money into this property unless it's in your name. on the
Okay.
promise that 3 generations from now it's going to land in your name. No way. More going to go wrong here than go right.
And because too, you know, Jacob, this could be money that you're putting in your own house, right, and building your own equity for your own family. And I mean, talk through though.
It sounds like their intention. It sounds like their
Fighting
intention is
this
to give you the
fucking boss
property.
still.
Yes. And
Okay,
that's
so they
the
should
way it
just.
would be.
Shit.
My point is, they should just do that.
Okay.
It needs to go into your name because it's unwise for you, even though the current set of players, the current set of actors are all good people and they all have good intentions. It is not in your name. And the things that can go sideways are too numerous to count. 35 years of doing this show, I've heard them all. Okay? And you know, somebody, you know, your dad decides he's going to have an alcohol problem, or he decides he's going to whatever, or your mom accuses him of something he didn't do, or I don't know. I mean, all crap, man, crap hit, and then he's in control of this blessing that you now have invested $100,000 into something that's not in your name. You're going to lose it all. Do not do this. You know, it's okay if you want to live there, but don't improve the property unless it's in your name. And if their intention is to put it in your name, there's no reason they can't go ahead and do that.
Okay.
There's no estate tax planning. Is your grandfather's estate worth over $27 million?
No.
Okay, then there's no reason from an estate planning perspective that they can't go ahead and move the property into your name. It does not have to stay in a trust. And it's just not necessary. This particular piece of property. It sounds like there's
Is
a
there
whole
a
bunch.
difference of putting a name on a deed of the person that owns the home that's still living versus it passing, like capital gains tax? I mean, like, is there any like?
Yeah. Doesn't matter, because if Grandpa, if it was just in Grandpa's name and Grandpa has a car wreck and gets sued for $500,000 because he accidentally kills somebody in a car wreck, and you know he gets a $10 million judgment against him, then they've lost it.
Yeah.
And it because it wasn't in his name. And so there's all these things that can go wrong and nothing that goes right here. There's no reason for it. So that's what I would do. And as far as your long-term investing, you've got a lot going into family business and a lot going into your land and property. Hopefully it's going to be deeded to you so you can do that. So you need to be doing for sure some other stuff like a standard retirement program. Get you a couple Roth IRAs going. And get some stuff in mutual funds where you're not all in Oklahoma farmland. Not that there's anything wrong with Oklahoma farmland, but you don't want all your eggs in one basket. That's what I'm saying. So you need a good retirement program going. So be putting 15% of your income away, like standard baby step 4 for that. If you want to do more real estate and stuff later, you do that with money you save up and pay cash after you get this other thing worked out. But we're not living in Grandpa's house for free and then go buy rental property. You need to work through this. You need to work through this with them, because it's not setting you up in a position of reasonable strength and reasonable dignity. So it's unreasonable for you. It's not unreasonable for them. It's their property. They can do what they want. But I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong. But I am saying if their intent is to go ahead and give it to you, they do.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what's difficult sometimes, like with Jacob, you know, I'm like, I don't know how old he is, but he's 25. Yeah, so I'm like, that's the hard lessons of life that, you know, in his perspective, it's perfect, right? The dominoes will fall perfectly right in a line. This makes sense, right? And then that's where, when it comes to this money stuff, being extra formal in it, meaning documentation, contracts, right, will, I mean, like all of that, it's just to cover your bases. And I feel like sometimes we tend to not go as formal with family.
Damn, that's where you go.
Exactly, because you just assume everything's going to fall into place as it should. And to your point, the hard part is we've seen it all, we've heard it all. And I think it's reasonable, Jacob, for you to go in and say that.
I hit the
They
button.
actually could say that's a great idea. Maybe they hadn't even thought about it. I don't know.
Still
And
could
when
have
I go
dodged
and deed
too.
it
That's
to
the
you,
worst
and then
part
you guys
about
get
it.
the benefit of it all.
Not
So
even without me targeting her, I
it's just,
still could have dodged.
It's seeing the back end of it that's always difficult, which is what we see sometimes.
It'll take some
It
time.
sounds like they see your potential and you moving into running a
Both
family
now, both.
business and you taking the helm of the family over
But
time.
we'll play it.
And so they obviously have great respect for you by all the things you're telling me. But this deal here is a little weak, and y'all need to work on it. This is the Ramsey Show.
Too late. That's okay.
is probably the biggest purchase you'll ever make. And with the real estate market like it is now, you'll need a mortgage company you can trust. That's Churchill Mortgage. You guys, buying a home is not a button push. It's a process. It takes building a relationship with an expert who will dig into the details and give you peace of mind without busting your butt. Churchill is one of the highest rated lenders in the country. And they're Ramsey trusted because they do what's right for you. Go to ChurchillMortgage.com to get started.
Homie hit me with a fucking 180 flick shot. Okay.
Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Kimberly's in Colorado Springs. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Cool. How can I help?
Okay, so I
What
called
is
because
this?
I
The dollars.
recently got divorced.
Okay, so don't stand in
I
that.
have
Don't stand in that.
3 children, And my
Understood.
former spouse, when the court ordered all of the debt and all the things, my former spouse was court-ordered to pay off a credit card that's in my name. Now, we sold our house, got all the money from the house, paid the lawyer, paid all of my other debts except this one credit card. And so my question is, so I got a decent tax return, and so I was wondering, do I go ahead and just pay it off with the tax return from my money, or do I just let him pay it as he is able to?
He just got the money from the house. Why didn't he pay it off?
He didn't get any
What
money
kind
from the
of
house
shit?
because,
What kind of
that's
shit?
how much was the
What
tax
kind
return.
of
He
shit?
still owes me another $14,000
How the last one go ahead?
out of his 401k.
What kind of
That
shit?
hasn't come through
What
yet.
the?
That's still being worked on. But he didn't get anything from the house because of,
How much was the balance on the credit card?
Bitch.
it's about $2,200.
Bitch.
What do you make?
I am a stay-at-home mom, so I get about $1,900 in child support. I have a 3-year-old,
Fuck on out
and then
of here. Get on out of here.
and so I stay home with them, and I use the child support and alimony to cover our bills. And then once my 3-year-old goes
1,900
into
is the
pre-K,
total you're living on?
yeah.
With 3 kids?
Well, I'm selling everything I can, and I have a small, tiny, teeny, tiny pottery business.
You know the math on that doesn't work, right?
Yeah, God has continued to provide. I got about 10 grand back in taxes.
God can do
That's
math.
covered me. He can, but he's
That's
continued
good
to
to
provide,
know.
and I haven't had to use credit
Actually.
cards or anything. But this is the last one I'm trying to pay off.
It's actually
And
good to
so-
know.
Kimberly, where are you living? I'm just curious what your
God can do
rent
math.
situation
So
is.
I'm in Calhoun, Colorado, which is about 40 minutes away from the
Shit,
Springs.
man, could do
My
science
rent
too.
is
Shit,
about
he's smart as fuck.
$1,150 a month.
I do whatever the
You
fuck
have
you want.
$1,900 coming in and you have 3 kids.
Correct.
Are you planning on going back to work?
I am. So we have summer coming up, and then my 3-year-old should be going to school next semester or next in the spring.
Yeah.
And so once she goes back, I'm going to go back into the workforce. But I got to stay home with my 2 big ones, and so I wanted to continue to be able to do that with her. So I've been selling everything I can. I refinished furniture a little bit too, and so I've been doing that, and then pottery, and then selling all the things
Okay, so
that I can find to sell.
but you said in the spring, do you mean the fall? You'll go back to work probably in August, in 2 months.
Yeah.
On the next
No, I don't know if she misspoke.
When the school year coming up, so we're going into summer now.
Yeah.
And then after
Yeah,
this
so
summer,
August, September.
So August, September, you'll go back into workforce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Making
I was a stay-at-home mom for 9 years, so I'm hoping to make at least $30,000 a year. That's the goal. I have a degree in graphic design, but
You got
I
me.
with a passion.
You got
And
me.
so
That was my bad.
I
Mistimed it.
I'm
You
wanting
got
to
me. Well
probably
played,
do
bitch.
something in sales or something like that. I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'm just trying to get through the next few months doing what I can.
Yeah, I probably would. Considering where you're at financially, I
Oh,
wouldn't
hell
pay
no,
for
I'm
it
stepping
right now.
in
I mean, the hard
fucking
thing
bubble
is
for
that
us.
it's a little bit of a gamble that
Blood
it's
bitch.
in your name. So if he doesn't pay, right, then it's all liability. But for right this moment, I don't know if I would. I mean, Kimberly, there'll be a place that there's nothing else to sell, right? I mean, like you're gonna get to a place that like.
I'm not concerned about your kids eating the MasterCard getting paid.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and you, as long as you understand that the divorce decree says he's supposed to pay it, but that divorce decree does not have the power to take your name off of it. And so if he doesn't pay it, it's going to be you that gets dinged.
Yeah, and
so-
that's my thing. So
Oh, I almost fucked up there.
There's some point if he doesn't pay it,
Yes.
you're going to have to drag him back into court, or you're going to have to pay it. But
That 10 grand I would keep for.
it's to $2,200 right this second. I want to make sure, that I don't want to go out the door to a
I fucked up.
Okay. Alrighty, perfect. I appreciate your wisdom.
I'm sorry, Kimberly, you're going through this.
Yeah, I feel like I would not have loved you well if I didn't say I think you need to lean in on this income
Oh,
side.
The fuck just happened?
I'm
She
a
didn't grab
believer
me, she
in
just
faith
poked me.
also, and I do believe that God comes through.
Oh,
But I
hell,
have
oh,
noticed
man,
that no
oh, shit,
corn
oh,
grows
shit.
Unless I sow corn.
For sure.
I have to put corn in the ground, and then God brings the rain, and God brings the sunshine. But if you sow sparingly, you're going to reap sparingly. And going along saying God has provided, and it's going to be okay, and I don't have any idea what I'm going to be doing in August. I'm going to love you enough as my little sister to
She
say,
whooping my ass,
you
bro.
need to focus in on this career piece, and you need to really start thinking about what you're going to be, because you're hurting.
Buffing up, I'll buff
And you've been wounded by this whole process,
Terrible. Three
and you
kids.
didn't expect to be here,
Yeah.
and it's caught you off guard, and I'm sitting on the side of it, and the math is scaring me for you, and so I want you to, I'm going to send you Ken Coleman's
Oh,
book,
it's a rock
From
one.
Paycheck to Purpose, and I'm also going to send you his assessment to start figuring out what it is you want to do, and let's start thinking about 10 years from today, what is the glorious, most prosperous career that you're going to love and make a lot of money doing that you start working towards now and actually engage in August, rather than I think I'll maybe go into sales because I hate graphic design. I want that thought into this for you, if I'm you. So hang on, I'll give you those two things as our gift, and I'm not trying to be offensive. I know you're hurting, but I'm also not going to let you just sit there, because your numbers are really scary, really scary. So I want to see some income coming your way for a long-term sustainability for you. Open phones at 888-825-5225. It's awful. When you go through, when somebody has a situation she's hurt,
Bro.
her whole plan was to be a mom with her
Okay,
kids.
so I know what I'm
thought
doing
to
wrong,
stay
at
home
least.
with the other two. Now I want to stay home with this last one, but all of that changed with the divorce. You don't get to make the same choices because of what's gone on.
Yeah, and I think she said through the summer.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying she's bad.
No. But well, what?
The game has changed. It's a new script.
Yeah, and that's what is so. I mean, I'm sure for her, it's so painful.
Oh, it is.
Right? I mean, just not only the divorce aspect, but and I think that is hard for a lot of women, where
hard for everybody.
that maternal instinct is so strong, and for some women, they and choose to and want to, desire to, dream to stay home with kids and do all of that, and then when that is taken from you and you're forced.
Oh, I
back
forgot I
into
even had that
something
move.
like this. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. But Kimberly, I really think. Yes, I'm glad you called in though, because I hope that this gives you some direction, maybe a little bit of motivation, but also it just sucks. I'm like, this is one of those grieving things that Dr. Don Gloin talks about. You grieve what isn't true anymore, right? And
It's
that's
gone. That dream is
hard.
gone. Now we need to move it. Yeah. So, gang, in 2003, we launched a book called The Total Money Makeover.
Oh, I'm good.
Late 2003. So it's 20 years old. We're celebrating the 20-year anniversary, the 20th anniversary edition of The Total Money Makeover.
Oh, I'm good.
The humorous thing is the Total Money Makeovers had several makeovers. This is the, I think, 5th revised edition over the years, and it's now over 10 million copies have been sold and or given away out there that are helping people. It's the simplest, most straightforward and proven plan to change your finances. It's been working since Taylor Swift started her career.
what? Did you
She
get a
was
tease?
brand new
What?
in 2003.
How
She
did,
was a
I am
teenager.
so proud of you. How did you know this?
The iPhone was not going to be out
Oh,
for
you
2
Googled
years.
the year and found all the important things.
Of course I
T.
did.
Swift was there. Okay. I was like, how did you
The
know?
iPhone was not going to be here for 2 more years when this came out. So, and just think of all the other things. Like some of you weren't born yet. when this thing came out. It's 20 years old. I mean, oh my gosh. So there you go. Or at a minimum, you were running around in your little Pampers. So there you go. Hey,
Name Taylor Swift's first song, Dave.
I can't. Was that a song? No, that wasn't it. Tim McGraw
Oh,
came
yeah.
out with a song? Oh, that's great. Okay. And now we understand how she's successful. RamseySolutions.com/store. Get the Total Money Makeover 20th
Bro, I need to stop doing that. Like, I have to stop doing that. I need to stop hitting going for the attack right away. Like, it's
in there, so scan the QR code.
It's a dodge and
and,
block.
Get
That's what it
signed up
is.
for every dollar when
Dodge
you're
and
looking
block.
at the
You
brand
can't
new
block
version
grab,
of the
but
old
you
book.
can block
This is the
the hit.
Ramsey Show.
I gotta block. And I'm dodge first, then block. I'm fucking dodging and swing every time. I can't do that. I fucked up. Okay, so I can't do that either. I can't go into her. I have to just hit a perfect thing. It's alright.
Hey guys, here's a quick math refresher. There are only 24 hours in a day. So you and your team need to streamline time-consuming tasks to focus on the activities that actually make money. Smart businesses are realizing that to reduce headaches as they scale, they need NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial
Bro,
system,
I don't know what
bringing
I'm doing
accounting,
wrong.
financial
I
management,
feel like I'm timing him right, but I'm
inventory,
not.
and HR into one platform. With NetSuite, you reduce IT costs because NetSuite is cloud-based. You cut the cost of maintaining multiple systems because you've got one source of truth.
Did it again.
And
Oh my God.
you improve efficiency by bringing all your major business processes into one platform, slashing manual tasks and errors. So join the 37,000 plus companies, including Ramsey Solutions, that have done the math and are boosting their efficiency with NetSuite. And right now, download NetSuite's popular KPI checklist designed to drive the right behaviors for your business absolutely free at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey to get your free KPI checklist.
Oh my. Okay. That's how that works. Never done that before. What the fuck? Whoa. Did I double use or did I only have 2 uses?
Thanks for hanging out with us, America. We're glad you're here. Continuing to rank in the top podcasts in the world because of you. We appreciate that. We were one of the first 4 to have over 1 billion downloads on Apple. And thank you. Appreciate that. The only way that happens is if you guys tell people about the show, and we would appreciate it if you do that. Share the show, click the share button, or cut out the link and email it to a friend and go, hey, listen to these guys. They got something to say here. Of course, click follow, click subscribe.
It's
That makes a
timing
big
everything right now.
difference in the algorithms. And always those 5-star reviews are just sweet and helpful. Thank you very much. Ryan's in Pittsburgh. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right. So, quick question. My wife and I, we are newly married, and one of our cars is about at 100,000 miles. My question for you is, when is the best time to trade in the car to get a new car? For quick, brief context, we have no debt besides the mortgage, and we do have some money set aside for our car, for a newer car.
I don't have the
Is
damn.
it breaking down on you, Ryan? I know $100,000 is a lot.
Yeah.
I just 100,000 miles. Yeah, that's what I meant. But is it still in good condition? Still driving?
It
Bro.
is still in good driving condition.
Okay.
Too
Who's
late,
driving?
too early. How the fuck am
my
I
wife is.
fucking that up,
It's time
man?
to
It's so fucking choreographed. I can see when she does it, but why am I
Federal law is
mistiming
wife
it
gets the
every
good
single
car.
time? Like it's a
So,
different fucking time.
yeah, the
It's not. It's the
you know,
same
newly
time
married, they
every
may not have told
time.
you about the law, but so rule of thumb
Okay.
is this: number 1, always pay cash for whatever you drive.
Yeah.
Number 2, I would not buy
Christ,
a
dude.
brand new vehicle unless you have at least a $1 million net worth because they go down in value so quickly. You really can't absorb
I just have to run away.
the death blows that the
can't.
mathematics
I'm
give
not gonna try
unless you've got
knocking
substantial
or dodging
wealth to
or
absorb
blocking
those blows.
anything.
So we're going to limit that damage. And then the third thing that helps us to do that is never, really, I can think of very few times in your life, like almost never, that you would add up all the things that you own with wheels and motors, and it should not equal more than half your annual income. Because if it does, you've got too much stuff going down in value for you to mathematically get ahead. So, I mean, if you got a $12,000 lawnmower, you know, that's part of the equation, right? And people do. God help us, but they do. And so, you know, and so, you know, if you've got a Sea-Doo and your Sea-Doo has a sister and so on, these things all go down in
There's no
value.
fucking point here. Just fucking kill me.
And
Did no fucking
you know, I
damage.
own a
I've
bunch
already
of
used
them
all
too,
of my hills.
but it needs to be a small percentage of my world that's going backwards if I want to go forward.
No damage.
So as long as you're those three things,
Everything,
you're
'cause
not
I
buying
made a
new
mistake
a
after
millionaire,
mistake
you're paying
after
cash,
mistake
and you're not
after
more than
mistake
half your
after
annual
mistake.
income, and you
God
want to move
damn.
up in car, I'm fine with you moving up in car.
How much do you guys make a year, Ryan?
Combined net right now is 70.
Okay.
Okay, and
Yeah,
the price range of car would be what?
Right now we have 20 set aside
Mm-hmm. And what's your other car worth?
for a used car. It's probably trade-in value right now around 15.
Okay, so you'd have
Right.
35 and you make 70. That's about the max. That's half your annual income. That's what I was just talking about. Okay, so you don't need to be driving two $40,000 cars when you make 70, because they're losing $10,000 a minute, and you can't get ahead. So that's about the most you ought to be driving, making 70,000. Now I think you said 70 take home. So I mean we're talking about gross
Survival
revenues, but
strength,
gross
though,
income,
like,
but still.
strength is strong.
You're right in that range. So that's fine. What you're outlining makes sense, and it's okay to do that. But that's some good guidelines. And folks, it's real simple. It's not because I hate cars. I actually love cars. I've got a bunch of nice cars. I like cars.
I'm sure you
But
do, Abrams.
I hate
Fucking
what they do
rich, dude.
mathematically. And I certainly hate when you're losing 60% of the value in 5 years if you buy a new car.
Damn.
You buy a $40,000
Yeah, I
new
fucked
car,
up.
you lose $24,000 in 5 years. You can't afford to do that if you don't make a lot of money and get ahead, not in make progress.
And
so,
I'll say this too. I was interesting. There's a account on Instagram. I've gotten to know her. Name's Kelly, but she's called the Car Mom, and she goes through and reviews cars. It's like her big thing, and she's become an expert. I think she's in the car business. Her family has been. But it's been so interesting. I talked to her on my show. I had her. We're talking about used cars, and she was saying though how cars today. We used to say the 100,000-mile rule, and she's like, but the way they're built now, they last longer. So that was a little bit too why I was kind of pushing on it. Again, if you want a new car, and mathematically you can, but don't just assume, you guys, these days that just because it has a high mileage that it's done, right? Like if it's not giving you trouble and you're content in it, then you're fine.
If it's a
you know?
Dodge Neon, it's probably done. But it was done when you bought it, so you already screwed up. But
I know, but there are some
most
cars
of the
that
cars,
do,
but
yeah.
most cars, you're right. Most of them are great vehicles.
The way that they make them now, they
And
do
they-
last.
I mean, a dadgum Camry or a Honda
Yeah.
Accord will run 300,000 miles.
Yeah, so you
I mean,
can.
they're great vehicles.
Yes.
She's
yeah.
right. She's right. I agree with that.
Yeah,
That's
so
very
you
good.
can go upgrade, right, in the math and everything we just talked about, but also just remind, in the back of your head that, you may,
and-
maybe high mileage, but
The first guy that ever worked here was named Russ Carroll that helped us do, and he did financial counseling here. And Russ always would sit with clients and say, okay, want or need? Is this a want or need? Here's your need. Your need is transportation. But everything above something that provides transportation is simply a want. So, but we justify it. It needs an airbag. It needs this. It needs,
an airbag, yeah, probably.
Oh my! I tried to.
well, it needs to be, my little children are going to die.
She
And,
did
you
it
know,
back
all
to
this
that. I wasn't expecting it.
And no, they're not. Okay, and so that's just bull crap. And so, but this thing of, we justify our ego abs and call them needs when they're actually wants.
Yeah.
Anything above basic service of transportation.
Getting you from
so
A to B.
Ryan moving up out of a 100,000-mile car in his
That's
bike,
not giving him trouble.
that's not giving him trouble, is a want.
Yes.
And it's an okay to spend money.
Wants is fine. Yes.
It's okay to
yes.
spend money on wants. I gave you the guidelines. Spend money on wants. But we don't, and he didn't. He didn't.
Yeah.
But don't call
I don't know
up
what
and
to do
don't-
there,
more
man.
importantly than us, don't tell yourself that somehow this is a need. Oh, God, we're dying. And all this drama queen crap in your head that people do in order to justify buying something that they just simply wanted. And they couldn't just own it. I wanted it.
Lightning
I
works against
wanted
others,
it.
though.
Okay. I don't have a single vehicle today that isn't 90% of the reason I own it is luxury. 10%. I mean, because they're ridiculous cars. And so it's just, but it has nothing to do with nothing. And it's not that I need to impress you with a car. That's not the point, because I didn't buy it for you. I bought it for me. But, and what you think of the stoplight's irrelevant to me. But the thing but this thing of I want the prestige of a car.
Yep. Yep.
This sense of security, which is false to her point, 100,000-mile car. So all of that, these are wants, and so be careful. Is this a need or is this a want? And, clothing is a need. An $8,000 purse is a want. And there's nothing.
$800 purse.
There's nothing.
You added
There's
some
nothing.
zeros.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of. What are they? Coach or whatever they do? On stuff. Whatever. I mean, this crap. This is all. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean. One gun is a need.
Oh my gosh.
A
No.
closet full of guns is a want. That would be me, okay? I'm picking on your purses, so I'll pick on my guns. All right, so it's a want. And so I
Needs
can't
versus wants,
use them
though,
all
is
at
key.
once to protect my family, so it's a want.
Yes,
So luxury.
needs versus wants. It is, though, a real conversation because the expectations of lifestyle within those categories is so high. The norm already is high, and so challenging yourself a little bit on that, I think is healthy and good. So Ryan, yes, y'all can upgrade cars, that cash. It's within the mathematical limits, but just because it hit 100,000 miles doesn't mean you have to. It's not breaking on you.
There you go.
I'm gonna close this out. This is the Ramsey Show.
What?
You've been gazelle intense, you've eaten more beans and rice than you knew existed, and now you're ready to make your biggest investment better. Blinds.com is a great way to dress up a room or your entire home. Whether you're comfortable with do-it-yourself projects or you don't even know what a Phillips head screwdriver is, well, trust Blinds.com to take care of you like Ramsey would. You can do the measuring and installation yourself, or you can let Blinds.com's professionals handle everything for you. Blinds.com offers a completely hassle-free experience. Count on them to deliver stylish window treatments from premium brands without the premium markup. You'll never have to deal with pushy salespeople in your home just to get a quote. But you can count on free shipping, free samples, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee so that you can rest easy. That's why we've recommended Blinds.com for over 10 years. Shop Blinds.com right now and get up to 45% off. That's Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. Leslie from Hamilton, Georgia. Hi, Leslie. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, I am so glad I get to talk to you. So my question for you today I am 27, and I just started having like any sort of concept about money, maybe 3 years ago, and I've been trying to crawl my way out of debt ever since. Well, I went into business for myself about a year ago, and I want so badly to be able to have a budget that like I can write down and follow. But my husband, he has set income gets paid every 2 weeks. But for me, my brain, I don't understand how I can make a budget for myself, not knowing week to week how much I'm going to make. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, so that's an irregular income, Leslie, and a lot of people, they deal with that, whether they're on a commission system or they own their own business or whatever it might be. So the way we teach people is to say, okay, so you have your husbands, that's consistent. And then, honestly, and I had to do this too, Leslie, for mine, you kind of guesstimate. That's what we say, that you kind of look ahead, because you want to do the budget before the month begins. So you'll look ahead.
You're using the Every Dollar app. Will the paycheck planning feature help, Rachel?
Well, not necessarily depending on her income. I mean, her total income is going to be changing, possibly. So I always tell people to say, hey, I think that comes into play second. But to say, look ahead and say, okay, here's what I think I'm going to make. And I always kind of go on the conservative end just to make sure that all of your main bills, your four walls, food, shelter, utilities, transportation, all of those are covered. And then in your Every Dollar budget, prioritize, even visually, the list of, okay, here is what we have to have, and here's what we have to get paid. So once we're paid, then we know here's the categories that we're going to have. And at the end of the budget, if those last few categories, you don't have the money for it because you made a low income, that's okay because they're not necessities, if that makes sense. But yeah, the paycheck planning action in that in the Every Dollar app, you're able to say, okay, if my paycheck hits on the 15th, here are the bills between the 15th and the 30th that have to be paid. So you're able to make sure that your income is spread out evenly throughout the month as well.
So Leslie, what does your husband bring home?
I think last year it was like right at in between 60 and 70,000.
Okay, so let's call it $5,000 a month. Okay, and what is your worst month? What would you bring home?
Oh my gosh, December, I think I've maybe made like $100 the whole month.
Okay. Does that happen very often?
I just hit my 1 year. So I opened my business March of last year, and I was doing great all the way up until I would say about November, and then it went dead all the way up until it maybe started picking back up the first part of March, and even now I wouldn't say I'm doing.
So what are you making now?
Great.
What you making month?
Probably $1,000 a month.
Okay. Okay, so you're going to have to get this business moving. It's not working.
Well, and I do plan on that. So right now I only do nuisance wildlife, but I actually take my pesticide exam next week, and if I can get that, having, routine places that I go and spray for bugs that, every month, every other month, I have like set income. Whereas right now I kind of just wait on someone to have a wildlife problem and I go take care of it. And,
Okay. And you got to have a whole bunch more people calling. They got problems.
You can?
Well, that's half the problem is like I can't afford advertising because I'm barely making my bills.
Yeah, but it's not advertising. You got to
Okay,
get word of
I'm
mouth
gonna try
out.
it again.
You got to go talk.
You can
go talk
parry
to
this.
builders. You got to go talk
I just
to
did. It's possible.
people who are property managers. You can say, when you have a problem, call me, and here's a card. Doesn't cost you anything. Go out there and put some shoe leather in your marketing.
Oh, double block.
So you need to get your income up because you're not making enough. It's part of the problem, but that's a side issue. Okay. Now, if you are going to do that, because, if you can become an exterminator while you're also working with problem wildlife, then you got two pieces of your business model. Then you can put together. Maybe you can turn this into an actual job, at least an income that looks like a job. So, okay. So, what Rachel's saying, let's pretend your worst month was $1,000 a month on average, okay? Which that sounds like you've made more than that a lot of months, and it's just been a dry spell. So let's say, then you would budget with his $5,000 and your $1,000, and then you would make a list of things you wanted to do that you did not get into that $6,000. And that list is prioritized from the very first thing I want to do if I get $1 more than $6,000. And then once I get that thing, then what's the very next thing, number 2? And the very next thing, number 3, and that prioritized spending plan then applies to your every dollar budget, and then you can get that moving, and that'll drop into that paycheck planning part of the every dollar app and start to work for you.
Yeah. And
But really what we're revealing more than anything else here is you don't really have a budgeting problem, you have an income problem. If you were making $8,000 a month and your worst month was $8,000, you probably wouldn't have called me saying I have a budgeting problem. Because you're just starting. You're not making $100 and it was and you know, and then $1,000. You're not even making wages. You could make more than this working down at Target, you know. And so that's what your main issue is. But this, and you're calling it a budgeting problem, but it's really an income problem.
yeah, and I would say too, Leslie, like if you start getting this up, we call it peaks and valleys seasons of income too. So if you went and made $4,000 one month, we'll put $2,000 aside in a completely separate account. I would open up one if it's going to be this fluctuating this much. And then on a down month, that you have $1,000, you can pull $1,000 from that account from the previous month to get what you guys need, right? To kind of make it a little bit more consistent. But you have to be disciplined in that.
Or if you're just living on your husband's income.
Yeah, and yours is just extra.
Then the hills and valleys don't matter.
Yep.
But they just matter how much you can apply to other things that advance you. Matthew's in South Bend, Indiana. Hi, Matthew. How are you?
Hello. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Doing good. How would you recommend paying for dental school when I don't have enough money to cash flow the entire amount?
The first thing is that dental school, medical school, nursing school, law school, what they fall for, and when they're pursuing one of their lofty degrees, is they're just so thrilled if they get accepted somewhere that they don't even look at the price. And so the first thing is look at the price, because there's a vast spectrum of dental school. You can spend $600,000, you can spend $200,000 to get through. It is very expensive. Dental school is expensive. It's inordinately expensive. It's more expensive than getting an MD, is what we run into. But even then, I'm going to look for the cheapest possible dental school, number one. Number two, I'm going to start studying the dental industry, the labs, the suppliers, the vendors, and find who's got scholarships. There's not many of them, but there are some. And I've heard some wonderful stories of people going and doing that.
And I actually ran into a lady.
I know what
in
I'm
the
doing
Cracker
wrong.
Barrel
So these are
restroom.
obvious
True
mistakes that I'm
story.
making.
True story.
More information
just
than
the fact
I
I'm
needed.
Well, so, we went to Cracker Barrel and I went to the bathroom. This lady stopped me. She's
I'm
like,
using
"Are you
too
ready
many
for cruise?" I said,
potions
"Yes."
at the beginning
She's like, "Oh my gosh."
because
So
I'm
she
trying
went on,
to
and she said,
correct for
"I
a couple
just
of mistakes that
graduated,"
I'm
true
making
story,
up.
Matthew,
and
from
that's pretty
dental
much
school.
what
She
they
said,
are.
"I worked for
6
the
mistakes
college."
I
She's
can
graduating debt free.
get around.
Yeah.
She worked for the school.
If you work
And
for
so-
the school, you
And
get
I'm
free
making
tuition.
those
And I was
mistakes
like,
way
no
too
way.
early.
And she was like, yes. I was like, because I hear these stories, right?
what I'm
Every now and then
seeing,
we'll
it's
hear it. So I remember
coming down
tucking
to
that one away.
timing.
I was like, I'm going to remember that next time someone calls about dental school, because that was her. She was
And I
right
can,
there.
if I can
And she said
parry
she
that better.
graduated and completely debt free. So there's these
That's
other
amazing.
If I can parry
there's these
that
other
better.
avenues
Yeah.
to
Just
Matthew
be
that
thinking
you can
about it
see.
different, Matthew,
The
than
first-
the way the standard dentist thinks about it, because
first
they come out
thing
with
was, like,
$500,000 or $600,000 in student
Yeah,
loan debt,
but
and it is
okay,
a long,
I can do
hard
that. So
life
I should
if
just
you
work
do
on
that.
doing that first, and I'll worry
And
about
if
what's
you
going
don't believe me,
second.
go watch
Second, I think I'm just gonna
our
have to dodge.
Borrowed Future
Just gonna have to straight
documentary.
up move around.
You'll see a dentist
dodge
there
that
that's
shit.
$1 million
I'll try to hit
in
some
debt,
perfect dodges if I
and you'll
can.
see a grown man cry. It's really distressing. The good news is that guy's worked his way out of it. But wow, it was a mess he was in. So yeah, go watch Borrowed Future, and that'll scare you straight. This is The Ramsey Show.
You know what? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Thank you for joining us, America. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, co-host of the Smart Money Happy Hour with the one and only George Camel, and my daughter. She's my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Chuck is in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Hi, Chuck. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Mr. Ramsey? Thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure. What's up?
Well, considering paying off 2 vehicles that I have and my home, and my wife has been pushing me to do this, and I'm wondering if it's a good idea.
Paying off 2 vehicles and paying off your home, is it a good idea? Well, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, no. It would be coming out of my IRA, so I'd be paying taxes on it. But, so that's part of it.
How old are you?
I'm 65 and my wife is 67.
And how much would it take to pay off your vehicles?
The 2 vehicles, it'd be $30,000.
Okay, and how much to pay off your house?
$32,000. That'd be $40,000.
40 on the house.
So I figured it'd be $80,000 for my IRA to pay off. So
70,000 plus taxes.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
and how much is in your total nest egg?
I have about $15,000 in non-taxable savings, and probably $980,000 in annuities and 2 different investment companies.
Okay. All right. So you're a millionaire. Way to go.
Well, close, but yeah.
No, you are. I mean, you've got equity in your house too.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have a net worth of over $1 million. What's your home worth?
Probably about $300,000.
Yeah. Okay. So you're worth about $1 million too. Good for you.
Yep.
Well done.
Oh, thank you.
Well done.
So my son has been pushing me. I call him Dave Ramsey Jr. because he's been listening to your program. And
so these people are all, and your wife is telling you to do this also, or you're wanting to do this?
She's been wanting to do this. My son has been convincing me to do this based on but he told me I should get your opinion.
Okay, I got you. All right.
Yeah.
So, well, the answer to the question is pretty simple. I would pay off the car and the house by morning, before the close of business today, no question, because you'd have $900,000 left over and everything's paid for. Now, but the more importantly than what Dave Ramsey thinks, because it's not really an issue, is why would you do that? Well, number one question is, why would you not do that?
So
what's the downside? There's not really a downside. If your home was paid for and your cars were paid for and you had $900,000 in your investments, you wouldn't go borrow $80,000 to enhance your investments.
Oh yeah, good back poppage.
Well, in essence, it's the same thing.
I want to leave those there.
Regardless of low interest rates and things like that.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't go borrow regardless of low interest rate.
Yeah. That's true.
You know,
okay,
so
right now,
by
tomorrow,
asking the question in reverse, that's called a sunk cost analysis. It makes me think, oh, yeah, I need to pay it off. And for the very reasons that I wouldn't go borrow if it was all paid for on it to enhance my investments, it's the same reasons I'm going to cash out $80,000 worth of the investments to be debt-free. It's the exact same analysis.
God damn, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
And
my
so...
wife and I...
And the other thing is,
it.
if I'm wrong, and your son's wrong, and your wife's wrong, and you hate being debt-free, you can go back in debt.
No interest in any more loans, really.
It's not hard. You know that. You're a millionaire. You can just call up the banker, and you'd have a mortgage by the end of the next day, right? They would love to loan you money, dude. You're like the kind of guy they're after, right? So
what makes you not, Chuck? What makes you not want to do it? It's just because the car payments, it's not painful every month. You just don't care.
I guess paying the taxes.
Damn, my boy.
Instead of leaving it and compounding in the mutual fund.
Sure.
And truthfully, it's that you've protected that nest egg like an eagle I mean, you wouldn't let nothing near that nest egg, and that's how it got to be freaking 980 grand, right? Because you protected it. You put money in it. You kept putting money in it. You've kept your claws out. Nobody's touching this, and now these people are trying to get you to touch it, and you're going, I don't think so. This is not how I got here. And so that's, truthfully, one of your greatest strengths is turning into a bit of a weakness in this particular discussion. But I'm so proud of you. I'm assuming you didn't inherit a bunch of money. I'm assuming you did all this on your own.
Yeah, my wife and I worked and put a significant amount in my IRA. In the last 4 or 5 years that I worked, I maxed it out as much as I could.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm so proud of
It's
that.
awesome, Chuck.
I wanted to pay it off before I was done working, but I didn't, so here I am. But anyway.
And I'll give you one last thing for the people out there listening and for you too. Something else is going to happen here that you hadn't even thought about, because the debt is so small as a part of what you're doing. I mean, it's like buying a biscuit, and it's like, I mean, we're talking about what? Compared to your total nest egg, I mean, you got $1.3 million, $1.2 million, and we're taking 80 grand.
Okay, yeah.
We're taking 80 grand.
Yeah,
so it's so small, it's irrelevant, really, mathematically speaking. But what you're not going to see coming is about 3 weeks after you pay this house off, you're going to wake up and go, I can breathe a little deeper.
Yeah.
Because the borrower,
my wife gets...
the borrower is slave to the lender, and you're not going to be a slave anymore. And you're going to be able to feel that down inside. You'll physically feel it, probably, because you've been so long at this, and now it's like, whew, last step.
Yeah.
And there's a relaxing,
No
there's a
bank in
peace.
your life.
There's
It's
a peace
amazing.
that goes with it.
Yeah, and just to say it out loud, people probably know, but even for those that are listening, they're newer. We say don't take money out of your retirement to pay off debt, but he's of age. When you're past 59 and a half,
Yeah.
then you're able to take money out. Yes,
Yeah.
he's still going to be taxed on it because it's a traditional IRA. But if you're younger than 59 and a half,
No.
you don't touch your retirement to pay
No.
off debt.
And if your nest egg's too small,
Yes.
if your nest egg was 120,000, I wouldn't pull 80 out of it.
Yep, that's right.
I wouldn't
Because you
do
have
that.
to live on that on retirement.
I might sell the cars.
Yep.
But I'm not pulling 80 out of 120. So the point is, it's a very small, it's more of a theoretical and emotional discussion for him than it is mathematical, because it's just such a small percentage.
Yep.
So the math really is irrelevant in this. It's more of a, man,
I have to
I did
actually,
it. I did it.
Yeah,
I became a
it's-
millionaire in America as a working man, and I saved my money. And we piled up a bunch of money in the last few years of work, he said.
And I'm not touching that. And now I am going to touch it to pull the money out. So
but he
that's
did it.
emotional.
And now I'm debt free, and the house is paid for,
Yep.
and the cars are paid for. It's like touchdown.
Yep.
Touchdown, baby. I mean, you just broke
great.
the tape on the marathon after 26.3 miles. You just broke the tape. You leaned into it, baby. Well done. Touchdown. I love it. This is The Ramsey Show. I've been doing this show for over 30 years, and some of the saddest calls I've taken are from situations that are completely preventable.
Yeah, and what's so hard is I feel like one of those, especially the ones that I'm like, oh, it's terrible, are people that call in and their spouse has passed away suddenly and they don't have life insurance. We actually took a question of a lady, and she had 3 kids, pregnant, and husband didn't have life insurance. And I'm like, I can't even imagine. Or even if it was opposite, right? If a mom passed away, there's a dad with kids and trying to figure out, how am I going to afford childcare? How do I outsource some stuff that maybe she was doing? And it just takes the grief and the sadness of something like a sudden death to a whole new level. Like when you have to think through, how am I going to pay my bills
I'm
in
going
the
to
middle
eat next week.
Yeah, in the middle of all that grief. Like, it's terrible. And so life insurance is the one thing, especially as a mom with 3 little kids, that I'm like so big on for people to get because it's inexpensive. Xander is the place that Winston and I actually get all of our life insurance, and we keep re-upping it because I'm like, I just want it there. Like, there's something about that safety of knowing that you have money if something suddenly happens.
And it doesn't cost much because Xander shops among a gazillion different companies. It doesn't cost much. You just have to admit that someday you're not going to be here. You got to say it out loud, and you got to say, I'm going to say I love you to my family by taking care of them and taking the time to put this stuff in place. It costs us stinking pizza.
There really is. So that is one thing to do, to say I love you to your family.
So we've used Xander for all of our family's needs for insurance for many years, including, of course, term life insurance. To get a free quote, go to 800-356-4282. That's 800-356-4282, or go to Xander.com. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. We are glad you are with us. Well, if you are on baby step 4, which means you're out of debt, everything but the house, and you have your emergency fund in place, fully funded at 3 to 6 months of expenses, that's 1, 2, and 3. That means you're at baby step 4, you're starting to invest for retirement. 5 is kids' college, 6 is pay off the house early, or 7 is your debt-free everything. If you're anywhere in 4 and beyond, we invite you to live like no one else, because we tell you to live like no one else so that later you can live and give like no one else. That's the idea, right? So we have the Live Like No One Else cruise. Yeah, that's right. We're going on Holland America, which is a fabulous line. We're going to Turks and Caicos, St. Thomas, San Juan, the Bahamas, all the Ramsey personalities, plus a bunch of other special guests, like my friend Stephen Curtis Chapman is going to hang out with us, my friend Manit Chauhan from the Food Channel, Iron Chef winner, Dina Carter, famous, remember Strawberry Wine, famous country singer, yeah, and is going to be with us, and several other people. Quite a boatload of stars, including all the Ramsey personalities. We're going to be doing events on the boat through the whole time, talks on the boat. It's going to be it's a ship. The whole, I don't like calling it a boat. My wife gives me a hard time. So anyway, the thing is almost sold out. It's not yet sold out, but it's like 70% gone. And it's only been up for sale for 3.5 weeks. And it is next March 22 through 29 of 2025. So go to RamseySolutions.com/cruise, and before the cabins are gone, because they're going to be gone. And we would love to have you if you're baby step 4 and beyond. Please do not go into debt to do this. We don't need your money that bad. You can come on another one. And please don't do this if you don't have your emergency fund in place and you're in debt. So it's baby step 4 and beyond. Live like no one else, so later you can live and give like no one else. So this is the Live Like No One Else cruise. We're not hypocrites. We're not trying to get people to do something they can't afford to do. We want to give you a place to celebrate, though, for those of you that have made the journey with us and you're further up the baby steps. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a blast, and all the Ramsey personalities are going to be on this ship the entire week, including Sharon and I. So we would love to have you guys that come as our guest. Lucas is with us in Nashville. Hi, Lucas. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Rachel. Hey, Dave. How y'all doing?
Great, man. What's up?
I work in the media industry for about 13 years, and I made a move to Nashville because I'm trying to switch industries over into the aviation industry. I'm a private pilot, and I'm trying to finish up my training to do that full time. While moving here, took a job, was looking for something like either remote or part-time, just to add supplemental funds to be able to fund the training. And started out a business. It was fantastic, and ended up kind of going into that, taking on a lot more roles, and got kind of integrated into the business. Here about 2 months ago, the owner let me know that he wasn't going to be able to pay me.
and that he'd be able to get some money soon. But since then, I'm 3 paychecks behind, and I'm in a position where I feel like if I leave or say something about it, then I'm kind of putting the last stake into the company and kind of hurting the friendship that I've built, but also aware that it's slowing down my life goals.
No, it's not life goals. That's not the problem. The problem is friends don't do this to people.
I'm with you.
So you never built a friendship. You built a relationship and you care about these people, but they're not taking care of you.
100%.
Yeah, and so, and
Taking
what
it
you're
to the
describing to me is you're not really getting much communication about. Because, dude, if somebody's not paying me, I want to know a lot of detail as to why.
That's where I'm at.
And you're not getting
because I've personally signed clients, signed $250,000 clients. So I'm like, where's the money?
That's a fair question. So, yeah, I don't think you're going to be there in 30 days.
I'm hitting
But
the
if you
wrong
wanna
button.
give it
Oh
one
my
last Hail
fucking
Mary, it
god.
would be sitting down in person with the owner and saying, okay, I am officially done unless you clue me in on every
Alright,
detail
I think it might be
here.
time for a break.
Because I
I'll
signed
take
$250,000 worth of people
play a
and I
different
can't
game
figure out why
and
I didn't get paid.
Try something
Where's
else.
the money?
Because
Yeah.
It's a fair question.
that was an hour of trying for that boss,
Yeah,
and
that's
I failed
kinda
every
where I'm
fucking
at.
time.
I'm
I did learn
trying
though.
to get to a place where I'm not feeling
I did fucking learn.
responsible for.
You're not
That's it.
responsible.
That's the part, Lucas, for me that I'm like,
I got her pretty low.
you know, yes, is your work there vital? And is it the linchpin on a lot of what's going on? Possibly, because you're good at your job. But that's not your responsibility. That's not your responsibility to hold the company together. That's the freaking owner and CEO's responsibility. So for you, I'm like, I would not, that's emotional bandwidth that you don't need to have. I mean, you don't. You are a team member there on the team. But if Lucas leaves and the whole thing dissolves, that's not your fault, Lucas. Like, that's not your fault.
Well, and by the way, you didn't just up and leave because you were mean.
Right,
You
'cause
didn't get paid.
You've been working for free.
Hello, and so yeah, so there's a
And they're
lot. There's a
probably
lot.
taking
There's a
advantage
lot
of
wrong
you.
with this,
You
and
sound like a nice guy, but they're
Yeah.
probably taking advantage of you too, Lucas.
yeah,
To a degree.
I don't think you're going to make it there, and I don't think they're going to stay open.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, hearing that, it just kind of confirms. Like I have a feeling that I am, doing it to myself, like throwing myself into it like that.
Yeah, you
I
are.
have a track record for getting kind of 100% into.
Well, it's okay to.
everything,
Hey, I
but,
love people giving 100%, but you got to think about what you're giving 100% to.
Yeah.
You're not getting 100% back. You're not even getting 50% back. You're not even getting a paycheck back.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, hey, if the tables were turned, and you were the owner, and your back was against the wall, and one of your key people was on the other side, and you couldn't pay them.
Well, that's so
I
good.
know what Lucas would do after talking to him for just a few minutes. You would give a thorough, detailed explanation and say, if you'll join arms with me in this and help me turn the corner, I'll make it worth your while. It's going to be a minute till we get this other thing to clear, and I'll show you what it is. And you would tell them what the flip is going on.
Or we're in a bad position, Lucas, and it's not good for you to be here, so we're going to have to let you go. We can't afford to keep you. I pray you go make more money somewhere else. Like,
Yeah, if
that's
I
another lemon
actually
thing.
love
I'm
you,
like,
then I want what's good for you.
yes.
Yeah.
Is it being like bad to myself or like dumb to me if it's like financially I can like stick it out to try to like help in any way I can with what little communication I have?
Well,
Like,
I don't
to
think,
try to get us to turn
they
a corner?
haven't earned you
Yeah.
with the way they've treated you. If you wanted to donate some of your time, so to speak, because you're able to, in order to help this business turn, because you believed in these people, but dude,
Yeah.
the people you're describing to me, I don't believe in them.
I'm with you.
Because you need more than just, oh, it's all going to work out, dude. Yeah. While I cash $250,000 worth of checks and you don't get paid, I can figure it. Yeah, no. I need an explanation. It's a Jerry Maguire moment. Show me the money. And it's like, woof. So
and this isn't even your end goal of a
yeah,
career track, right?
You just got sucked into it, and
supplement,
But he cares, thank God.
Yeah.
A team member that
Sure.
cares,
Well,
that's
sure.
wonderful. And
Yeah,
he
but
cares
you're
about the
gonna take-
people, thank God.
Yeah, but they're taking advantage of
Oh,
it.
they're definitely. And I don't know whether it's a lack of business acumen, lack of basic relational skills,
Something sketchy.
or they're crooked, or all three. But you're due a lot more explanation, detail than just hang on, it's gonna be all right. No, not. I'm not gonna do that. This is the Ramsey Show. Brought to you by Why Refi. Refinance your defaulted private student loans today at whyrefi.com/Ramsey.
Today's question comes from Daniel in Oklahoma. My church is very big on encouraging its members regarding tithing. Our church leadership recently said, do not focus on investment for retirement, but focus on investment given to church and the Word of God. Retirement investment can go up and down, but investment in your church and God's Word will always prosper. Should we stop investing in order to fund our local church?
That pisses me off
Well,
so bad.
If, all caps, if a leader of the church said this to an individual, to you, or corporately from the platform, if they said this, this is not biblical, Dave. And so the answer would be a resounding all caps no from us.
It would be a resounding change churches.
Yeah, this is
if someone's doing that.
borderline
let's
apostasy.
Let's walk through what portion of this is accurate. And I don't know if you've twisted this or not, Daniel, or you heard it through a different lens of some kind. So I'm not positive what church leadership has said, other than what you told us, okay? So we have to go on what you told us because it's the only information we have. Now, number one, the tithe is not in place of retirement. The tithe is a tenth of your income. The word, when you look it up in the Hebrew or in the Greek, Jesus used the word tithe twice. When you look it up, it literally means tenth. It means 10%. And evangelical Christians have taught for over 1,000 years that we believe that a tithe, a tenth of our income, goes to our local church to support the work of God. So if you're attending a church, you're an evangelical Christian, that's a standard teaching in a Baptist church, in a any kind of normal Protestant church out there, that a tenth of your income, standard evangelical belief and teaching. I've taught it for 30 years, and I tithe a tenth of my income to my local church. Okay, that's what I believe. I believe that to be biblically correct. Above that 10% is not more tithe. It's because by definition you can't be more. You can't say I'm going to tithe more than 10% because the word means 10%. So anything above that is called an offering to support the kingdom of God or to support the community work that the church is doing, which is good work usually. And so yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And you do want to be doing a portion, if not a good portion, of your generosity in your budget to things that are eternity oriented, where moth and rust don't destroy, which this person said. Retirement investment can go up and down, but investment into the kingdom of God, they said church and God's word. You're not actually giving God's word money. You're following God's word when you give money into God's kingdom. God's word is the scriptures. You don't give the Bible money. It's incorrectly stated. So that's why I'm kind of thinking, Daniel, you've misinterpreted this or heard some of it wrong. I don't know. I hate to accuse your pastor of straight up craziness, but the way you presented this, it sounds like crazy. Okay? So, yes, I tithe, and yes, you should put money where moth and rust don't destroy. You should put money towards things that matter in eternity, not things that matter short term. And retirement compared to eternity is short term. And the Bible says you should save for your needs. In the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil. The diligent prosper. These are actual scriptures from the Bible that I just quoted. And so wise people save money. For a rainy day, they save money for purchases, and they save money in our society to retire with dignity so they don't have someone else having to take care of them. They don't become a charity case of the government or a charity case of their church because they took care of themselves. They were wise. They were diligent, and they prospered. And in the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil. So the Bible very clearly teaches to tithe, to invest money into God's kingdom where moth and rust does not destroy. And the Bible teaches to save and invest. God, it is the Lord your God, it says in Deuteronomy, that gives you the power to build wealth. How is that consistent with give it all to the church and don't save any for retirement? It's not consistent. That's, as you said in the opening part on this, not biblical. Okay? So, this sounds like a money grab, the way you presented it. But that could be that it's how it felt to you, and you changed the words around to match your feeling. I don't know what was really said by church leadership here. I know what you say they said. And I have to go on that because I don't. But I don't know many churches that would say this.
I agree with
and
that.
We work with tens of thousands of churches across America, and almost none of them say something like this. This is if someone's actually saying this, it's probably some kind of sick, toxic little small church. There's something going on that's wrong if they're actually saying this. Give us all the money, don't save anything for retirement, and God will take care of you. That is not what the Bible says. It doesn't say that. And so, that we're not going there. But do I believe in tithing? Yes. Do I believe in giving to eternity? Yes. Do I believe giving to eternity is more important than saving for retirement? Yes. But it's also important that you do both according to God's love letter to me, which is called the Bible. My heavenly Father, which if we being evil know how to give our kids good gifts, how much more so our Father in heaven. Our Father says that loves us, that the diligent prosper, and that in the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil. Wise people save money. Diligent people prosper. It's the Lord your God that gives you the power to build wealth. This is all from his mouth, not from your preacher's mouth. And so that's what you can measure this stuff against, is figure out, okay, to what extent is church leadership out of line with what the Scripture says? And if they're too far out of line and it seems to be self-serving, that's a disqualifier as a place to go.
That's right.
You need to leave.
That's right. Full stop.
That, you don't hang out in a place that's got, they're trying to milk the cows every Sunday.
That's manipulative.
Trying to shear the sheep every Sunday.
That's right. It's evil.
That's just nuts. So, but is it wise? And I wish more pastors would do a better job of teaching the importance of giving versus consumption, because it's better for you. If you're listening to me, you will have a better life if you consume less as an American, and we consume massive amounts in this country. We spend more on our dogs and cats than most people in other countries spend raising their children. And
now you've gone and stepped in it.
Yeah, I know, I did, literally. And so...
No pun intended there.
And I've got a dog that I like more than most humans. But that doesn't matter. I mean, we consume. And I'd love for us all to talk about consuming a little less and being a lot more generous. It was just a couple of percentage points. You could shake this entire country up in ways that would blow your freaking mind. If we said, okay, I'm going to cut back on pet and Christmas and Halloween by 5%, you can fund entire children's hospitals for 2 years with that amount of money. It's hundreds of millions of dollars. Would I love preachers to talk more about that and less about, and more about giving into the kingdom of God and the work in the community and charitable work? Yes. But I don't want you doing it this way If this guy's really doing this, I'm going to call him out. Say, no, honey, you're not following the word of God. And I'll challenge you on that, and I actually know what I'm talking about. And you don't want to get an argument with me on this. It's the only thing I've studied for the last 40 years. I actually know what I'm doing. This is The Ramsey Show. Why Refi refinances delinquent private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey.
Brought to you by CH.
Just realized my microphone was muted on, fucking retarded.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Open phones this hour. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. Rachel Cruz, #1 best-selling author, host of The Rachel Cruz Show, co-host of the Smart Money Happy Hour, and my daughter is your co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Andrew in Atlanta starts this hour. Hi, Andrew. How are you?
Hey, Dave and Rachel. I'm doing very well.
Good. What's up?
So I've got a very complicated situation. My wife and I are very big fans of yours. We've bought a house with, 20% down, 15-year fixed-rate mortgage, no credit score, following the Ramsey plan, everything. And about 4 weeks ago, we had a septic leak in our yard. And so, it's not a big deal. We're in 4, 5, or 6. We've got the emergency fund, called a company out to come check it out. And as it turns out, it's coming from our neighbor's yard. And long story short, our neighbor is as broke as can possibly be, and essentially both of her parents passed away in the last year, and she doesn't even have the money to get probate through to get the house into her name, much less fix the septic leak. And so originally, if it was just a small thing, our church was going to try to help with it, but it's turned into $8,000 to $10,000 because they have to pump all of the septic uphill to a new drain field and everything. So it's going to be a whole big thing. And we're just trying to figure out what to do. And after discussing it with other people, I feel like our plan is to just suggest to her, hey, we'll help you pay to get the will through probate, and then you need to sell the house.
She can't sell
the house is.
You can't sell it. Can't get a health letter.
Would she be able to? I mean, the house is falling apart. Everything. I mean, she'd probably have to sell it for cash to an investor or something.
Okay. I mean, because they're
falling apart.
The buyer can't get a mortgage on this if the septic tank's busted. So because they're going to require a health department letter in any city I'm aware of to do that. She
wouldn't be able to get a mortgage even if the septic was fixed.
No, I'm not talking about her getting a mortgage. I'm talking about the buyer.
Yeah, the buyer would not be able to get a mortgage on this house even with the septic.
Because it's in such bad shape.
Yeah, it's in very bad shape. Yeah.
Wow. Have you? Do you have any idea what the price to take it through probate is?
I don't. I would expect it to be. I believe she has a lawyer. She said was going to do it as a favor, but it's been 6 months now, and he basically said because it's a favor, it's got to be back like lowest priority. So I'll do it when I get around to it.
Are they living in it?
Yes, they're living in it.
Where are they going to go?
Well, if they sell the house, they can take that money and rent something. If not, then there's also 2 years of unpaid property taxes. Mm-hmm. And the young woman who now owns...
You're right. It is in her best interest, aside from your problem. It's in her best interest to get the house sold. Because the house needs repairs to be habitable. $8,000 to be habitable just in the sewer system, septic system alone. And obviously, you know, she's too broke to pay attention, bless her heart, and putting more money in her pocket and restarting her life in a more whole is best for her. I agree with you. I think that's a good conclusion. Is she up for all of that? It sounds like you've had good discussions with her.
Yeah, no, we're very close. I was able to be with her father when he passed away.
Oh my.
And we had a very close relationship with them. She is very emotionally attached to the home and does not want to sell it. But at the same time, she has not worked in 10 years and she's unwilling to get a job.
Well, you can't make her sell it.
No, we can't. But the county will.
No, they really won't.
Put a lien on it if she's back in property taxes.
Well, they may sell it. They may sell it for property taxes. There may be a tax.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe
Yeah,
a
she
tax
may be
sale on
forced to sell it, is what Andrew's saying. Yeah.
or codes could condemn it and make her move. That kind of thing happens too. So, well, I mean, if you pay for it to go through probate and then she does nothing has happened. You just wasted the money, right?
Yes.
So I'm not going to pay for it to go through probate unless I have the agreement in writing that she's going to sell the house.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Because otherwise you're just throwing good money after bad, and it doesn't solve. It's not going to solve the problem.
And that's the way we saw paying for the septic stuff. Even if it was a smaller issue, it's just
it just enables her to continue to stay in a situation that's not good for her. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So with the sale of the home, would they be forced then to fix the septic?
The buyer of the home would probably be an
Have to
investor
fix
that's
it.
going to renovate the home, including the
just do it.
septic, in order to put it back on the market and do a flip on it.
But that's going to take, I mean, that could take, 6 months.
Oh, it's going to take a while.
So do you just have septic running into Andrew's yard? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, what?
that's my problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is regardless of the route, if she does not sell the house immediately to someone, then either we're paying for it or it's just going to keep coming into our yard.
Yeah. Or you're going to create some kind of a landscaping barrier that redirects it back into her yard.
Yeah.
Is it a lot? Like, is it?
It's not a lot. It was very bad at first. I think they're just using less water, honestly, but it's coming up from underneath the ground. So it's not like flowing into our yard. It's like bubbling up in a puddle.
Yeah. That's pretty gross.
Terrible.
Yes, sir, it is.
Terrible.
That's the crappiest call I've gotten today. Oh, man. Bless your heart. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to start investigating some things I can do to just, from a landscaping or grading perspective on your land, to just redirect it back over onto hers. And
Where are they coming from?
because it doesn't sound like this lady's going to follow through. She's going to wait until this all comes down. Or she's not going to act. She's going to wait until the whole thing comes down around her head. That's what you're describing to me.
For her to not lose her entire house.
Yeah, but that's not. We can't control that. If we can't make it, unless you have her committed, unless you have have her declared mentally ill and the court takes over her life. That's the only way you can do that. And obviously she's not there. She's just not. She's just in denial. So I think I'm going to, as her friend, I'm going to continue to recommend that she do that. And, if you're willing to put the house on the market, because, honey, I think that's what's good for you, I'll help you by paying for it to go through probate. But I'm not going to do that if you're just going to sit over there and let the thing rot around your head.
Yeah.
Because I love you too much to participate in your delusion, and I don't want that. I want what's good for you, and you can act in her best interest, and at the same time end up solving the problem.
Yes.
But I think you can offer to do that, and even if she puts it in writing, I still think you're going to have trouble, because I think this is an emotional person, not logical. She's not making logical decisions, or it'd already be on the market. And so, and so you're going to have to figure out a way to landscape your yard, reset some stuff to create a puddle on her side of the line. I'm sorry. Wow, what a gross mess. I don't have a good answer for you, but you're pursuing this properly and with the right spirit. You're a kind person. Thank you for that. This is the Ramsey Show. You know, it doesn't take a degree in statistics to realize that this one stinks. 93% of undergraduate private student loans are co-signed. So when you're delinquent and drowning in private student loan debt, Mom or Dad or Uncle Joe is stuck in that financial stress along with you. But there is a way out. Why Refi? Why Refi offers a custom refinancing option with a fixed rate loan based on your ability to pay. And the average interest rate Why Refi offers is 3.9%, which can significantly reduce your monthly payment and decrease your total cost. Why Refi refinances your defaulted private student loans that other places won't touch. And I trust them to help you get out of debt. So don't be another statistic in the student loan swamp. Contact Why Refi at 844-2-RAMSEY or go to whyrefi.com/Ramsey. That's 844-2-RAMSEY or the letter Y, then REFY.com/Ramsey. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Well, graduation season is here. Graduating from high school, graduating from college, starting our lives. It's a fun season. So we're going to run a couple of specials
it was
to
up
help
there.
you
Damn.
out for the graduates if you need a gift for a graduate. One I'm really excited about is Ken Coleman's new book, which just hit a bestseller list the other day. Find the Work You're Wired to Do, the Get Clear Assessment. And built into this book is a code, and you take the Get Clear assessment, and then the book walks you through what you should be doing, what you should be thinking about, where, you know, what your bent is. And the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he'll not depart from it. And the old King James says, train up a child in the way he is bent. And Get Clear assessment helps you figure out the way we're all bent in one direction or another. And that's a good word right there. So you can check that out. The ultimate millennial and Gen Z guide to all things Ramsey is George Camel's Breaking Free from Broke. Full of snark and full of great research.
That's all right.
This thing is an amazing book, also a bestseller, #1 bestseller, and a great millennial gift, a great Gen Z gift. Because written by one for one and all that kind of stuff. And of course, we've just launched the 20th anniversary version of the Total Money Makeover. Over 10 million of these sold now. And so any one of those three or all of those three will make a great graduation package. Angela is in Greenville, South Carolina. Hi, Angela. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Get ready. Hey, Dave. Hey, Rachel. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I'm having a bit of some marital disagreements. I'm hoping you can give me some clarity or at least how to approach it with my husband. We've been married for 8 years. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 2. And he makes about $250,000 a year and refuses to give me access to the finances, pretty much. I'm not on his account. He does give me, X amount of money each month to pay the bills. It doesn't even really cover the bill amount, to be honest with you, and I'm always left with $0 to my name. So I just wanted to talk to you about this and get some feedback from you.
Dang it, but why won't he put you on the account? What does he say?
To be honest with you, he was very established. He's 12 years older than I am. He's always been on his own, so I think he's having a really hard time relinquishing that.
8 years later?
Else. I know.
Yeah, because that's where the difficulty comes in. Yeah, I mean, it would be. I mean, to a degree, Angela, I'm like, I mean, it's a level of the splitting of finances to the point that you don't have access. I mean, that borders on financial abuse, that you don't have the ability to access money that is coming into your household, regardless of who makes it or not. the idea that he's withholding that's a big red flag.
Holy,
Are
that's
there
good.
other areas
Oh,
of your
wait,
marriage
Punisher.
that you feel this control, or is it mostly to the
She's
money?
popping up.
Honestly,
What a good magic player. Oh yeah, I got one tap by her.
feels great. And of course, I
Wants
can
to
ask
swing,
him for
do
$20
melee.
or $50, but he wants the
You're
house
not
back.
his daughter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is bothering you because it's wrong.
Yeah.
And so let me just confirm for you, this is wrong. And what you're describing to me is, it sounds to me like it's a whole lot more toxic and bad than you actually think it is. You've kind of normalized this, and you're trying to just kind of, it's just like I can't get him. No, I mean, this is like weird.
Fucking assassin.
Okay? This is strange. It's at that level, and it's wrong. Relationally, it's a disaster.
Retards
so
can't
I don't
push
know,
when they have no
I
tanks.
can't
It's
judge,
crazy.
You know, I'm not talking to him. I can, but I might be wrong. What is the root of this for him? But I really honestly don't care either. If you were my little sister or my daughter and you told me this was going on, I would think this is not a financial problem. You have a very serious financial problem. You have an older guy that is married a man older than you that thinks he's your dad. Or he thinks he does not have he does not have to.
Oh, whoa. That's crazy.
So, I mean, you're just to do what you're told.
That's such a cool ult.
And it just sounds really icky. So
Yeah.
I think
And to
you
be
guys,
honest
I think
with
you guys
you-
need to sit down with a marriage counselor desperately.
Okay. I have tried that route, and he wouldn't go. I still
Oh,
went,
no kidding.
for a little bit.
Of course he wouldn't go. You need to go.
Yeah.
And the marriage
Okay.
counselor needs to explain to you how icky this is and how you can start having conversations that he either comes to the table or you're leaving. Because
Okay.
this is not healthy, honey. This is ugly.
Okay.
And I am not telling you to leave, but I am telling you to get some people in your life to walk alongside you so you don't continue to tolerate this. 8 years is too long.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. You put up with it so long, it starts to kind of feel normal to you. And Rachel and I both, like, we about flipped out when you told us this, right? So we're trying to temper and be nice.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, there's degrees of all of this, Angela. We get this call a lot of how do I get my spouse on board? And there's everything from how do I get him on board with the intensity of which we're doing baby step 2, but we're doing baby step 2, but I want to, do more than he does, or how do I get it where we
Oh, this is control
Well, that's what
freak.
I'm saying is the checking account. Like we have separate checking accounts. I don't know if we want to do one, whatever. This is on the extreme scale of it, that you don't have access to your money to run your household, and your husband is holding the keys. And so there's probably a level too, Angela, that and I think Dave's right. I think if he won't go to marriage counseling with you, then you need to find a counselor or a therapist and start walking through, because there's a level of strength, Angela, that you may have been giving up over the last 8 years due to codependency, due to really being kind of warped into what is normal, and this is just your normalcy. And so to have this level of, and it's scary because you're going to start to learn some new tools and new realizations of what's really going on. And it's going to give you the strength, though, to speak up. And I pray that with that and through that, he comes to the table and starts to do work and understands all of that, right? And you guys can move.
I hope he loves you more than he loves control, but I'm not sure right now.
Okay. Yeah, it feels that way.
Do you guys have kids, Angela? You've been home for 2 years.
We have 3.
You have 3. Okay.
Yo, they got a pretty
What did you
hardcore
do when you said I've been home for 2
Spider-Man
years?
player.
What were you doing before that? When you were working and making an income, where was that money going?
Well, I worked for a municipality, and
No, we need a ban. We need a ban.
I tried to combine finances then when I was bringing in money, but he wasn't interested. So, I just kept it to myself.
so weird,
in
Jax. You're
my
so
account.
weird.
But
It's
since
so
he's
Fidel
married,
you're
I
talking about?
tried to
It's
get
so
him
weird.
Yeah.
to
You
combine
are weird.
finances. We did
You're a
go
little
to
weird puppy.
SPU together.
Little
That was one of my
baby.
things I wanted us to do.
After, I'd
At
say,
first, I think it helped for about
they got Hulk.
a year, but he never.
Oh, maybe
He never
Hanzo.
wanted to actually make that
Hanzo.
Hanzo,
combine
Hisashi?
our account down to our account.
Well, and more than that, he's still doling out money to you.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
an
have to
allowance.
ask him for $20. It sounds like you're 16 years old and you're asking your
Honestly, if
dad
you throw in a Groot, yeah, I was gonna say, if you throw in a Groot and that ends up getting
That's
banned,
the
I
way
don't mind that
that's the way
either.
that
Both bans are.
structure came out.
Yeah, why is everybody
And
banning
that's
Groot?
what- that's,
I don't
Because
think
his
he got
walls,
caught.
his
That's
walls,
not.
bro.
Yeah, that's not a bad
A
ban.
guy
That's
that
not a
can go
bad ban
through
at all.
Financial
Groot's a
Peace
good ban.
University
Yo,
and
so
see
can
the
we
full
can we get a
scope
strange for
of
the team up?
information, viewing it from a
Walls,
emotional,
man.
spiritual,
They'll literally just
mathematical
stop hills.
process,
No
and
one
then
ever
go
wants to hit
back
them.
to
Apparently,
doing what he's
DPS never
doing.
want to
There's
focus.
something going on here. There's something going on.
And even then, right?
Oh,
let's
good.
say
I was about to
all
say, I was
the-
like, that's
Yeah,
strange.
Really,
We're not gonna have a
Yeah,
strange.
Still
I'm sorry,
gonna,
darling.
they can still
Yeah,
block
I
off
don't want to be some
healing for like a
doomsayer.
second
and I
or
don't
two.
want to add drama.
At least
but I
half a
want to add
second,
enough drama
and
that
that's
you do
enough.
something about it.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Don't
Dude, whenever you
stay
coordinate,
in this situation.
wall behind, burst,
Do
dead.
something to cause the situation to change.
Shit you can
Like,
do,
see a
especially if you hit
therapist
them
and
with
let them
CC
walk
with
you
this,
through
this Emma
some,
Frost chick.
You know, some
You go there,
structures
grab that
of
bit.
what you can do to
Slam
get
him
some
down
help
with
in this relationship.
He's stuck in fucking
Oh my
animation.
gosh.
He's just getting shot.
This is the Ramsey Show.
Do you play Iron Fist, Veggies?
Oh, he be playing hella. Okay, what's up?
I'm gonna see if I can get over this. Oh damn, yeah. Close the gap.
Hey guys, it's Rachel Cruz here to tell you about a faith-based alternative to health insurance that can make healthcare more affordable. Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM allows members to share each other's healthcare costs, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, choose the healthcare provider you want. Step 2, submit your eligible bills. And step 3, get reimbursed. CHM members take care of
Holy
your eligible
shit.
medical bills.
I
With
just
no
got insta-killed.
networks and the freedom to choose your healthcare provider, CHM is the best
I'll be back
option
here
for
soon, though.
Christians who want to take care of their families and help other believers. Find out more at chministries.org/budget.
Oh no. Rockets behind off, climbing up top. Throat it gone.
Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, and my daughter is my co-host. Today's question
Watch out for that
from
Punisher shot.
Lindsay in Illinois.
She says, my husband and I are in our late 30s and we have 2 teenage daughters. He wants to quit his job and open a restaurant, which has been his lifelong dream. He has done no research and has not created a business plan. His idea is for us to sell our fully paid for home, oh no, of about $500,000 and live in an apartment, oh no, so he can purchase a restaurant, oh no, oh geez, I don't even know if I can get through this. In the meantime, he wants me to keep my job, so we'll have one steady income of $85,000 a year. I could see putting all of our money into this venture and end up losing everything. How do I convince him it's a bad idea? Oh no, Lindsay. Yeah. Well, kind of like our last caller, to a degree, you have a vote too. This is your life as well, and
And you're on the deed of that house, so don't sign it.
Good point.
There you go. Period.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you,
And
Hella.
again, it's not because you're a party
so
pooper,
here's
but
the thing.
because
No.
it's a
His process is completely ignorant. It's absolutely
I'm just gonna
ludicrous to
when
open business this way.
when they
She's
like
exactly
Luna
right.
or
Number one,
Invis
you need a business plan. Number two, you would need some
fucking
experience
close.
in the freaking
Shoot
business.
a stranger's
Before
shield
you do that.
like as
Number
much as
three,
you can
understand
so I
that
can
you're
kill him
taking
through it.
on the category of small business that has the highest rate of failure of all small businesses. The #1 way to go broke is open a restaurant. It's like freaking guaranteed. Okay? Just ask for Egg Lobster. They just filed bankruptcy. Okay? I mean, too many shrimp. And so,
That's a big chain, though. But yeah,
yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, it's a different thing. But the restaurant business is just
It's
hard.
Yes, it is.
It's hard. It's a tough business. The average employee turnover ratio in a restaurant is
There's a
3%
cloaking
year.
dagger behind us.
You lose all your people 3 times a year. That's a lot of hiring. That's a lot of drama. That's a lot of stuff to put up with. And no. Now, is there a way for him to live his dream without it destroying his own family and himself in the process? Yeah, sure there is. Sure, there is. You do a business plan, you go to work in a restaurant, you learn the restaurant business, you work in leadership in a restaurant, management in a restaurant, you understand purchasing in a restaurant, then you redo your business plan because now you're going to be smarter. And
I see Adam Warlock all done.
then you start a
thing on his
catering
app.
business on the side, and you grow your catering business so big that you buy a food truck. And then when the food truck makes you so stinking much money from catering and food trucking that you pay cash for all this without selling your home and without quitting your job. You did it all on the side. And you just work your tail end off. And 3-4 years from now, you'll have the money to open your first bricks and mortar little restaurant with cash. And then you'll actually know what you're doing. But I got to tell you, man, we coach small businesses. I got 10,000 small businesses that we coach through Entree.
Damn.
I do a podcast called EntreLeadership.com, or called Entree Leadership Podcast at EntreLeadershipPodcast.com. It's one of the top-rated podcasts on leadership and business. And if he called me up on the air and asked me about this, I wouldn't be as nice to him as you have been, but for his own sake.
We would say what you just
This
said.
is just
There's a way
ignorant.
to get there.
Well, it's just ignorant.
If it's your dream job. But
Goated,
just to
bro,
do everything,
goated.
like
Thank
right
you
now.
for that damage
I
boost,
was
bro. I was
in
just
our
melting
cafe
them.
downstairs here at
Woo-wee.
Ramsey Solutions,
Yeah,
where our
buddy.
team members eat. Right, there's all these stations and like, and it's a mini restaurant. I
Oh,
mean, there's all of it.
it's a major risk.
Yes, but I'm just saying,
Feeds
like,
1,000 people a day.
yes. So even that type of thing, I'm like, I know the amount of work and the amount of research and the amount of companies you hire and the food. I mean, like, it was a whole feat just for that one portion of just this. And it's not even like this is what's maintaining our life. You know what I mean? Your livelihood
Listen,
of everything.
I got a better idea, Lindsay. Sell your house and pile $500,000 in the middle of the interstate and burn it.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's fine. That's where I make up for that
It's the
damage
same
for you.
net
Like I
result.
literally, your
At
shield
least
is
then
like
you'll have some
stronger,
entertainment.
but I come in and I
Watching the
fix
traffic
that
swerve.
shit. You know what I'm saying? We built different.
Yeah, and it'll save you a lot of heart.
Dude,
this
Strange
is,
only
this
got
is-
a
you're right, Lindsay.
2
Now, how do
damage
you
bonus.
convince him?
Not really that
I don't know.
bad.
Well, you take it slow.
It kind of
and
is. I'm not gonna
say,
lie to
There
you.
is
It
a
did
way
hurt
to
him a
do
lot.
this that is
And he lost a
wise,
team up
and
too,
his-
which
his
was his
net
big like.
goal is not
you know,
unwise. His
bread and butter
process
type.
is completely ludicrous.
You know,
way to get there.
the
It's
Hulk's
completely
team up
ludicrous.
with
So,
uh,
Rachel, one of the things that
Strange
the reason I
never
get so
increased its
passionate about
damage.
this
You know
kind
that,
of
right?
stuff is I
Yeah, but it
actually
allowed him
did
to kill
this
through some healer ults.
to your mother.
No, it
restaurant?
never
No, before you
gave
were
him
born.
extra damage.
So,
It only ever
I
increased his
started
blast
buying and
radius.
selling real estate when we first got married. I was 22 years old, and I was a freaking genius, and nobody could tell me anything. And my wife said, "Oh, I don't know if this is going to work or not. It doesn't matter. I got it figured out. I got the finance degree. You got a home ec degree. Shut up. I'm doing this." And I just went and did it, and I started buying. We have owned a lot of real estate my wife has never even seen. And you know what happened? I went broke. I lost everything. We were out to dinner the other night going in downtown Nashville, and I thought, hey, I'm going to turn up the street. See that house right there? I did the renovation on that house. She goes, we own that house? And I said, yeah. I guess I owned it, but you didn't, since you didn't know about it. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't hiding anything from her. I was just too freaking arrogant to take her input. And because I was the smartest
And you
guy.
put all the cards on the table.
Smartest
Or
call, all the poker chips
yeah,
on
in
one
the middle.
hand. I
Yeah.
bet everything on one horse.
Yep.
And I was the guy that was so freaking smart, and I had all this figured out. And don't you question me? And then she pulled it. She just like, whatever you want to do, honey. Which is Southern for you're an idiot. And so.
Oh, GG,
You're
GG.
not
Wow.
listening to me.
Yeah, you're not listening to me anyway.
So you can steamroll the streets.
So when I went
For real.
broke, I learned not only did I go broke, I got broken. And I got to trade out some of my arrogance for some humility. And I started reading biblical principles, what the Bible says on how to build wealth and how to handle money. And I got to Proverbs 31 because there's 31 Proverbs, and if you read one a day, you'll get really wise. And then you can read them all the next month again, and eventually you'll start to understand them. But I got to Proverbs 31. Who can find, and this is for our last caller too, who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her. Now here comes the punchline. And he will have no lack of gain.
I'm Luna Snow. Like the moon. I shine in darkness.
So, husbands, assuming you're not married to a spoiled brat princess, assuming your spouse is not confused and thinks she's the Holy Spirit, assuming your wife is virtuous, if you listen to her and consider her input in your dealings, you will have no lack of gain. You know why I'm sitting in a building worth $600 million that I paid cash for?
They flexed on us hard, bro.
Because I drove up on this land in my four-wheel drive pickup when it was out here and there was a bunch of cows running around on it. And my wife said, this is where we need to have a campus for Ramsey. And I went, ding, 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 I agree. It's why I brought you down here. And she's like, yes, we need to do this. And guess what? We did it. So, and guess what? Some of the best things.
She's told you no in the past, too.
Some of the stupidest business deals I've ever done, I didn't do because my wife had a bad feeling.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this
And I
one.
walk away from them if she has a bad feeling. Because I don't want a lack of gain. I don't ever want to go back to being the idiot that I was in my 20s. And not everybody in their 20s is an idiot, but I was an idiot. I completely ran roughshod over this principle. Who can find a virtuous wife for her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her. And when I started trusting her, boys and girls, I've had no lack of gain. Now, sometimes she's wrong, but I still trust her. And I've had no lack of gain. And you guys out there who are not listening to a virtuous wife, you're having a lack of gain because you're being stupid. Stop it. This is the Ramsey.
Amen, Brother Dave. Amen.
Amen, Brother Dave.
You guys want me to TP behind them right off the rip? You want to wait?
You do you, bro.
Bro, that shit's crazy. What the culture? I love it.
Your home is probably the biggest purchase you'll ever make. And with the real estate market like it is now, you'll need a mortgage company you can trust. That's Churchill Mortgage.
Oh,
you guys, buying a home is not a button push. It's a process. It takes building a relationship with an expert who will dig into the details and give you peace of mind without busting your budget. Churchill is one of the highest rated lenders in the country. And they're Ramsey trusted.
Just got fucking
because
blasted.
they do what's right for you. Go to ChurchillMortgage.com to get started.
I'm back in the fight.
Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Elizabeth is in San Diego. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi, Rachel. It's an honor to
I need
speak
to stop
with you
doing
too.
that.
You too. What's
I
up?
also need to change my facility.
My family of four and my in-laws are in the beginning planning phase of moving out of state to buy land and put a few homes on it for us. I'm looking for information on the legal structure of a multi-generational property homestead.
How many families will be living on it? You
So
guys,
my
them?
in-laws, and then us. We are four. My kids are also special needs, and I don't know what their independence is going to look like as they're adults. So we might put a few homes on them.
That adult is fucking sick.
Yours and the in-laws for right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm back in the fight.
Very difficult. It's very difficult to, because the problem is that this only works if it works. When something doesn't work here, it becomes, you fall prey to the same thing a small business general partnership falls prey to. And we tell folks not to go into small business partnerships because the only ship that runs sales with partnerships. So, and here's why. It only works if it works, and it never works exactly the way you think it's going to.
Wow.
That's what life is, right? So, and in business, I'll just kind of outline there, and it doesn't apply here to you guys completely, but here's what I go to there, and because you have to kind of
can just support Alton and win,
you have to
maybe?
do the same exercise I'm getting ready to show you. I teach business people. Okay, like two guys wanting to open a small business together, this is what I teach them. Number one, I tell them don't do it because it's very difficult. Number two, if you're going to do it, you have to have a detailed general partnership agreement. Now, you wouldn't necessarily do that, but the general partnership agreement would address the things you've got to address. All the possible negative things that show up in life.
Off-road.
Okay? And a lot, we call them the D's because a lot of them are D's. Death, disability, disinterest. I don't like living in the boonies anymore. I'm going back to the city. Ba-dum-ba-bum-bum-bum-bum. Right. Drug use, yeah.
That was the team.
That's probably not you, right? But I'm guessing there's no cocaine problem in this situation, but I'm amazed at the people that do manage to snort their life away. So it always is shocking to me who it is, because I was like, you're kidding, you? And divorce, disinterest, default. I don't do my part. So I had dinner 20 years ago. The first time I ever experienced this, it was a family at dinner, and they sat at dinner. It was really embarrassing. We were in Cancun at a leadership thing I was doing. They yelled at each other, these grown people. And it was three brothers and sisters and their spouses. And they called each other names, and they didn't like each other. And they were the third generation of a homestead of tens of thousands of acres in New Mexico. And the reason they didn't like each other is they thought the other one had screwed the other one, and the other one didn't do their part, and the other one didn't pay the bills. So the other two had to pay the bills because the first one didn't pay the bills, and otherwise they'd lose the land. And it was.
Bro, did you really shift on
that? It was
that?
the unintended consequence of a homesteader, an original homesteader. I guess these are real homesteaders, but I'm talking about the original homesteaders that went and got thousands and tens of thousands of acres. And so it was a bizarre thing. So that's what you've got to try to ward off. The only way you can keep that kind of thing from happening is to anticipate that it might and set in place structures and processes to keep it from happening. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm getting this information now because I wanted to have a meeting with them
So incredible amounts of communication, but also what is our strategy if someone dies? Look around the table. Any one of us dies. Okay, and so like this is your husband's family.
3 killings. Well,
yes, sir.
Okay, so your husband dies. Now you're the daughter-in-law.
Right.
Where does this leave you?
And you meet somebody later on in life, do they want to move next to the in-laws of the person? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like you. So I think.
This is how it happens, right?
Is there a clean way to do it if, let's say, the in-laws purchase the
bro,
land?
you're all by yourself.
I actually would just buy a piece of land and then I would subdivide it.
Yeah, I was going to say subdividing.
If you want to buy 100 acres and get 50 on each side and run a lot line down the middle of it and have two parcels, you own one parcel, they own the other parcel. We're connected. We're right there. We're having the same life experience we're trying to have, but in the event of a problem, you can sell yours.
That was actually an option that I was thinking about, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I really would try to get you to go that direction. It's not as sweet and communal as the whole idea of, we're going to have a family compound. But it's just very difficult to pull this off. And it's going to require an amazing amount of, y'all are going to burn a lot of calories heading off problems.
And I would say this, if it works and you guys do have a great relationship and you want to do this and it's a really great, you know what I mean, and you're all on good terms, you want to live that close to them. I mean, all of it could be a really cool thing, right? Like, if it works,
but have a plan when the season when the season ends. when it's done,
Yep.
have a plan for how we're going to do this, and everybody's not pissed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem. Because it will change. Life will change, and nothing works out exactly like you think it's going to, ever. Sometimes it's better than you think it's going to. Sometimes it's worse, but it never is exactly like you think it's going to.
Well, and being tied down, what always kind of gives me a little bit of claustrophobicness emotionally is when you feel like you don't have options in life and you're tied down, and especially to your home, and you have a family, right? She has special needs children. I'm like, there's a lot on your plate, there's a lot going on, and when you feel obligated, if there's a sense of obligation 5 years down the road that we don't have the option to move because it's our in-laws right here, and they would be pissed if someone else lived in this house because we had this whole deal, so now we're stuck. Like, that stuck feeling is what you don't want. You want lots of freedom and choices if or when something changes.
Honestly, we got 250 acres just over the hill over here.
They're behind us.
And we easily could do this, but there's not a chance the Ramses will do it.
Up here.
I don't know if I'm gonna live in a apartment.
Maggie.
I'm just telling you, there's no chance.
We love y'all,
I know,
but
you
There's
need
zero
your
left,
distance.
man.
It's just good.
we sit
And
2
you need
feet
your
from each other
independence.
once a week for
So
3
if you
hours
want
in
to
a
tear, if you want
glass.
to tear up the backyard and put in a pool, I'm going to judge you at a larger distance.
I know, they're not pool people. They're like, you're putting in a pool? I was like, okay, majority of people, this is a goal for them. Pools are great
Yeah, it's
for
great.
kids.
Wonderful. Have fun. And so, yeah, but it's, that's the thing. So
That's what I would hear.
Some fun.
Just a pool, a regular pool. He's like,
this
we're doing what?
This is how we live at our place. So it's not gonna work if we're all in one pile. It's just not gonna work. So, but you guys are sweet people. Y'all probably can
Denise
pull
and
it
I
off.
might be able to.
Yeah, they might. Elizabeth's family might be able to do this.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. The
sounds cool.
Ramses, we would be.
well, there was a
throwing-
family, and I can't remember their names, but they lived off of, sorry, this is probably just family chat right now, down, it's like Wilson Pike. There was a road in Nashville that would go out to the lake, and they lived, and you would like turn right, and they had like a big sign, and I think like the grandfather lived there, the older son. Do you remember what I'm talking
No,
about?
I have no idea.
And we went, I think they were old church people, friends.
Oh,
and we
okay.
went, and there was, well, I mean, literally this. I mean, there were 3 homes. The grandfather lived in one home, and you kind of kept driving, and there were the sons. You remember that?
It's not an evil thing. It just has.
I am ready to put on a show.
Everyone enters this with rose-colored glasses, and I always
Yes.
just want to crunch the glasses under
But there
my
is a
heel
beauty in.
and let you know what you're walking into. And if you walk into it with your eyes open, you got a chance of it working.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. And you can come out and everybody still be happy and friends.
Yeah,
and all
because the
that.
intergenerational, you think about farming, you think about, how people lived life 100 years ago. That's what it was.
Yeah, but
you
they
lived
also
next to
were
grandparents.
they were obligated and they were stuck.
Yeah, that's fair.
They felt obligated to tradition. I can't get rid of this land. It's been in the family 4 generations. I don't really have any options. I actually want to go live in the city and be an engineer, but I guess I'm a farmer. So, it's stuck.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is,
That's fair.
And if you want to be a farmer, that's okay. But if you're stuck, it's not okay. This is the Ramsey Show.
Fuck, I watch it now. That's left. This. Yeah. We're all Celestial players. Like that's. Let's see, who was the other guy? That's Rico, right? No. Who was the other healer? Let's just say this, right? He's Celestial too. Oh.
Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Celestial.
Live from the headquarters of
You guys
Ramsey
are fucking
Solutions,
pussy.
it's the
Damn.
Ramsey Show.
Plan
We
two.
help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create
Yeah.
actual amazing
Yeah, like
relationships.
we're all.
Thank you for joining us, America. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey.
Why are you still
personality,
actual
number one
plugins?
best-selling author multiple times over. And my co-host, my daughter, is my co-host. Gina is with us to start this hour in Phoenix. Hi, Gina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I am in a situation where both my husband and I have our own businesses, and that has changed from him having a salaried position just over the last month or so. And I'm wondering how we can make it work with our two businesses without us having to supplement our income. So to kind of hit the ground running and not fall backwards financially.
Okay, so he did not have enough income coming from his business to justify quitting, but he quit anyway?
No, he got laid off. So we still have some, layoff money coming in that's going to help,
Okay, so what is his small business?
So his is a freight brokerage.
Okay, and how much money has he made doing freight brokerage?
Well, he was in the industry several years ago.
No, I'm talking about the business. Right now, how much money is he making?
He's only making about $2,000 a month.
Okay, what was he making at his job he got laid off from?
About $6,000 a month.
Okay, how fast is he going to get the freight from 2 to 6?
Hopefully within the next 3 to 4 months.
Realistically or hopefully?
Well, that's definitely hopeful. Realistically, within the year, I think it's realistic.
Okay, and what are you making on your small business?
Very little. I haven't had to be in a position where I had to make much, so only about $500 a month.
Okay. All right.
What do you do? What's your business, Gina?
I'm a health and nutrition coach, and it's virtual.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Can you gear that up?
I can. I'm not quite sure how.
Okay. All right. You have the bandwidth to do it, but you don't know if you can actually get enough clients to pay you.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Cool.
What's you got for your budget every month?
What's it take?
Mortgage
what's it take to operate your house?
It takes about $5,000 bare bones.
Okay. All right. And so if he makes 2 and you make 500, you're $2,500 short.
Right. So we really need to kick it into high gear.
Amen. Okay. All right. Now I'm caught up with your concern, and it's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And you didn't do something stupid like quit your job before you should have or something. That's good. This is good. It just happened, and now here we are. How much severance is left?
I think we have about 2 or 3 months left.
Wait, 15,000?
Well, so he's getting a payout monthly, and then at the end he's getting like his PTO and everything. And I don't have the exact numbers on that, but I think we figured it would get us about 4 months after he was done with his job. But he was
making $6,000. Wait a minute, he's continuing to get $6,000 a month.
Yes.
For how much longer?
For just that is about 2 months, and then he gets the full severance once that's done.
How much is that?
Yeah, that's what you don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so if I've got 6 and you got 500 and he's got 2,000, that's 8,500. It takes 5 to operate. You can bank 3,500.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna live on beans and rice, emergency, do nothing, spend nothing, pile up cash to ensure that the curve on his income coming up on the freight business doesn't last longer than your pile of cash.
Right, which we do have a pretty decent pile of cash that would take us potentially through a whole 12 months if we absolutely needed it. But obviously we don't want to do that.
But that's like an emergency fund. That's not your retirement accounts or something.
Right, correct. Yeah, it's all liquid.
Okay.
It's liquid cash.
So Gina,
that's very good. That's very good.
Yeah, and I would consider this, to a degree, an emergency. You lose a job loss is that. So if he's not seeing anything start to really progress in his job, I would say by into summer, come August, if nothing has happened, then that's where I'm like, okay, the severance the payout is ending. All of this. We haven't touched the emergency fund yet. We've been able to bank some money. Are we seeing any indication? Because you guys have some good cushion.
Yeah, you need
financially
to really in order for him to stay on the freight small business path, he needs to go from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6.
Right.
By the month. And if it's not happening or happening faster than that, then you have a valid concern that you're going to burn your cash.
Right.
And that the math, you're doing the math right. You're thinking about this correctly, and what you've got to do with anybody who wants to start a small business, particularly somebody got burned by corporate America and laid off, and then wants to start a small business and stick it to the man, which I love that, by the way. go do that. Okay, go. The best revenge is success. Okay, so go do that. But but don't live in denial.
Right.
And I'm talking to him right now, actually.
Yeah.
Because you're not. You got your feet solid on the ground. But if he's all entrepreneurial and hurt over the way he was treated, I'll never go back into that. I don't blame him for those feelings, but that can't mask out the reality of his business didn't get going. So he's got to get this business going.
He's ready to go.
Okay, he's got to get it going. I need it to go from 2. Next month I need it to be 3. Next month I need it to be 4. If you do that with the math you gave me, you'll never even touch the emergency fund.
That's the hope.
The severance, well, no, it's not the hope. It's what needs to happen. The severance will have funded the startup.
Right.
That's what it amounts to. If you go from 2 this month to 3 next month, he ain't got nothing else to do. Go get some money, boy. Go get some business. That's your thing, man. Leave the cave, kill something, drag it home. What else is he going to be doing? Watching Netflix?
Right.
I mean, go get it. Get it, man. This is what we do. A little desperation is good for a startup.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want this cash pile over here to make it okay to slumber along. I'm not accusing him of that, but you can tell I've coached a whole lot of small business guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I love guys that are like your husband. I love right where he is. He really has all the DNA and ingredients, the chemistry of what you're describing to me. He could be running a $50 million business someday, and it could have been born out of being pissed off with the way he was treated over there, and it took off, and then he went and learned something, and he killed it and drug it home. I think he's in a really cool place, but he can't stay here.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, 2, 3, 4, or reconsider. 5, 6, 7, or reconsider. You follow me?
Okay.
That math works with what you gave me. You got plenty of cash to do that. And you're not going to have to go to work and freak out. You can go build your business too. It won't hurt. Might as well. It's a good reason for you to go build it.
Got them boygies right there.
You've been wanting to do it. You've been wanting to help people with this nutrition issue. Go help them.
Tomorrow.
And they'll give you certificates of appreciation with presidents' faces on them. This is The Ramsey Show.
I'm more about the dessert thing. I don't know why I'm doing this right now. I'll take that and put that back. It is not the right time for ice cream. I'm about to eat dinner.
Hey guys, here's a quick math refresher. There are only 24 hours in a day. So you and your team need to streamline time-consuming tasks to focus on the activities that actually make money.
Siri.
Smart businesses
Set a
are
timer for
realizing
15
that to reduce
minutes.
headaches as they scale, they need NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial
Give me that
system
sunlight.
bringing accounting, financial management,
I might turn this
inventory,
off.
and HR into one
What's it
platform.
feel like in outside?
With NetSuite, you reduce IT costs because NetSuite is cloud-based. You cut the cost
it's at
of
70
maintaining multiple
degrees.
systems because you've got one source of truth. And you improve efficiency by bringing all your major business processes into one platform, slashing manual tasks and errors. So join the 37,000 plus companies, including Ramsey Solutions, that have done the math and are boosting their efficiency with NetSuite. And right now, download NetSuite's popular KPI checklist designed to drive the right behaviors for your business absolutely free at netsuite.com/Ramsey.
Okay, dokie.
I have over 100 acres of land and most people never see any of it. What do you guys see? Woodshed, garden, outhouse, outdoor kitchen, carport, random vehicles, solar, garage. Oh, and a living space, and a water collection, and a doghouse. But what about the other 99% of the land I have? Well, let's go tour it, just in a casual, laid-back sort of style. We're about to hop on the quad and go out there. A lot of you guys are gonna wonder what my future plans are for all this land and whatever, and honestly, just a nature preserve. I want it to be just natural out there. I don't wanna build this all up into some kind of city. If I wanted to build a city, I'd live in a city. I like things surrounded by nature. Let's go check it out. Go places, do things. Let's go find the go places, do things mobile. Up. Go places, do things. Good boy. Get your seat ready. Under. Good. I know, not fast enough. Under. Is that good? Would you shift forward just a little bit? There you go, Mins. Yeah, it's not gonna work. I'm working on it, man.
Watch, make sure he does it okay, man. He didn't want to start. Oh, there it is. There it is, man.
Yeah,
Now we can go.
it
Now we
started.
can go.
Look at that tail go.
Look at that sunny out there. All right, guys, let's go for a ride.
Go places to do things. Here we go, man. Boy, stay.
I'm trying to hold you guys as still as I possibly can. We're going places, doing things with you. All right.
Guess people never see this part either, but I got a fuel shed and just piles of miscellaneous stuff. I call it the homestead bank account. I got a storage camper.
Yeah, if you guys watched his big series last year, you guys know about this old camper up here.
And then I got pallets and shower surround and tires and a bunch of barbed wire and other miscellaneous metal stuff.
Reclaimed stuff.
All things I raid whenever I need to build, make, or do something cool.
Here's the old outhouse.
Yep, the old outhouse. Let's see if the door even opens and we can take a look at it.
See what kind of animals might have taken up home. The dirt and stuff has built up around the bottom since it hasn't been used,
Sure
so
has.
sometimes the door is a little tough to get open.
Ooh. Doesn't seem too
Oh, look at
scary.
the difference between the old house and the new house.
This is the old beer review shelf where all the beers were reviewed. Most of them are still here. Some of them have fallen onto the floor. Got a cool painting.
Spin art looks like.
Wonder if the light still works. Come on, light. No, light doesn't still work. It's not stink-free like the new outhouse.
It doesn't smell to me. I'm
doesn't-
not standing in it either.
It doesn't smell bad. It does work. You just push that button. I don't know why the wire is
Bees
down
already.
here.
Watch out for that thing.
Well,
Ooh, yep, I'll
that-
step out. Hey, go away.
we'll just
Away
head
from
on
me.
out of here.
Away from me.
Keep on rolling, mans. That random spool was here ever since I've been here. I don't know why it's there, what it's for.
Tree down.
I don't remember how I got around that the other day. I think I went through it.
You must have gone through it. Stop, open up. And his bat ears fly up. He's got one up right now. That's funny. That is funny.
I've got a trail that goes up here on this ridge line. Don't really take it much, but it's there.
There's the first backfield.
There's the big field.
There's the homestead straight across there, guys. You
Homestead's
can kind of
over
see
there.
a building over there.
Once we get further away, it'll probably show up even clearer. There's a path down there. This kind of goes back
You
and
can see
takes
your
a
hand.
loop.
Where's the path go?
It just kind of loops around here, but we're actually going to follow that loop down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can kind of see a path that heads back up that way. Too.
It's got
That's cool.
trees across it.
Okay.
More firewood to get this year.
Paths to clear up so we have fun places to zoom around.
Meaning in his ears.
Yeah. A couple minutes ago, just one of them was up. It was funny. I don't see that happen often. Big bump, you guys. I'm trying to hold you still. Whoa. Here we are in the backfield. It's a really old apple tree. Old hay from a couple years ago. Oh, there we go. Now you can see the homestead. There we are. Right over there.
Totally see the homestead for me.
Zoom you guys in a little bit. Look at that.
When I say I'm surrounded by empty land, my land around the homestead is empty, and then also the neighboring land, which is over that way, is just empty too. Like I'm in the middle of nowhere. This is one of my favorite spots back here. It's kind of flat. I thought about building a house back here, but you guys just saw the driveway I would need to build and maintain in order to do so. And I'm not trying to get a mile-long driveway. A half-mile-long driveway is enough.
There's a nice little area back here, though.
Very much so.
Be cool to put a cabin back here. You could come back on weekends and feel like you're away from home for a bit.
Yep, you can still see home to make sure nothing dumb's happening.
Yep. Hear Az if he's got issues.
All right, now we're gonna try to navigate down to the pond, and then we're gonna end up coming back up a different way and coming back to the homestead.
Right. People always want to know where our guests stay. Well, if you come out as a guest and you're invited, this is your little guest area right here. See, you've got your own little wood stove.
That's it.
Fire pit.
That's where it all happens.
That's where we put the guests.
Gotta rough it.
This is also where Will first was when he came out here.
That's true. Yep,
He was out
hanging
here.
back here. This is supposed to be a path, but it's a little...
Don't stick my arm out too far. I'll knock that tree. I'll knock the phone right out of my hand. Oh yeah, tree down.
Gonna blaze our own path for a second here. Down we go. It's the perfect time of year to do this video because you can actually see stuff besides just
Right,
dense
you can see through the
vegetation.
woods.
The spot's always a little bit tricky. It's all good though. Got a bit of a drainage clog over this little runoff.
Here's where we cleared some trees out last year.
Yeah, we never did gather the firewood.
Never did come gather it, right?
Looks like it'd probably still be
All
okay
kinds
though.
of valleys and trenches and things. And he's getting excited. He's moving forward in his seat.
Hey, back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
This is one of my favorite spots on the property. I love this little shelf right here.
Yeah, a little flat
This
spot.
little flat spot right here is really cool.
It's pretty cool.
If I was a camper out here, that's where I'd want to be. I'd put my tent up right over here.
Everything green is popping.
Yeah, it's really
Just
starting to
starting.
get green. Burns are starting to come back up. There's where we came from, guys. That's where that other field is we were just in. Woods everywhere. Oh. Nice view of the back of Nate's head, huh?
Here we are, down here at the culvert area.
Culvert, switch down to the creek. This is what we call the back way into the pond.
Another little crossing. And then it's the lower field.
This would be an awesome place to have a little cabin or something. It's way cool down here. And in the summer, when it's way hot up by the homestead, it's a lot cooler down here.
That's That's where the well is. I always tell people I don't have a well. It's not totally accurate, but that's just like a shallow hand-dug well that I don't use for anything. It's very far away from the homestead, and there's, yeah, it's rainwater.
Before Nate showed me my first snake on the homestead.
This looks like a daisy weapon. Damn, why is it so damn...
Over there is a nice flat spot I have too that I need to find a way to get a skid steer and an ATV trail across there. I have a plan. You know, mow down all those vegetations, whatever they happen to be. Probably olives. Whole patch of them. Clear it out and make it nice like this field.
Old hunting shack.
Tell me my M1 is automatic.
Right over here is where we got the morels last year, so I'm ready for those in a couple months or a month or so.
That's crazy.
This can't be the pond.
No, because my pond doesn't hold
Can't
water.
be the pond. Yours doesn't hold water.
That's right, my pond doesn't have water. I don't know where this pond comes from. It's pretty cool. Hangman's is pretty cool.
Anything left of the deer in the rib cage.
Yeah, then Mark space.
You guys haven't seen Mark the tree before. There's Mark.
I said he wasn't gonna make it.
What the hell?
3 years ago, Nate had a funeral for Mark because everybody said that he wasn't going to make it after the pond got dug around him, and look at him there, still surviving.
He's doing it. All right, let's head up to the homestead.
Union hasn't seen any deer yet. He's been awfully quiet. Usually tells us where the deer are. There's the back of the outhouse up there. That's where we're headed.
There's our house up there, and this is the side view.
House is way up there.
That's
It's in
why.
amongst all those trees. I don't know if you guys can see that.
That's why I don't just like run water from the creek up to the homestead, because it's like a huge elevation change. It's pretty far. Go, mans. Go places do things. Go places do things. Maybe we'll go check this spot out down there.
Let's do it. Been down here in a while.
I'll have to watch out coming back up. All these briars will be a minion's face.
Right? Right in your face. Fires in our faces, guys. Run you guys right into the tree. Whoa.
There's a good view of that whole hillside.
Oh, that's a beautiful view. Look at the view, guys. These hills are so much bigger than they are looking on the phone. I cannot believe how
Of course they are. It all looks flat. I don't know why it looks so flat.
We have this little like shrub.
Need to widen
trees
this
to go
area.
through.
Got to widen this area at some point.
Yeah, we don't come through here often, so nothing's really got. Oh, the thorns got Nate's beard,
They did.
and now it's stuck on my arm. That's one of those wild roses or something.
Yeah.
Go ahead and go; it'll pull off. Yeah, there.
I don't even know if I can get across here anymore. I think got washed out.
Oh, it's really washed out. I remember last time we came through here, it was iffy.
Yeah.
You want me to hop off?
Nah, I don't think there's any reason to go over there right now when I come.
So soft, that's for sure.
There's two culverts right there, and
The dirt is
for whatever
actually
reason,
fall
it
down
just
on
like
them.
all disappeared off of them. It'd either be some skid steer work, or I'll just. This side is silted in real bad. Could just clear something here and drive
I don't have something to drink. Let me get a drink.
around it more or less. I don't know.
I need a drink.
But yeah, I have to do something. Good thing I got a skid steer. Now we gotta go back through all the rose stuff. That's fun.
Drink some tea.
Right now, it's reaching.
I got a spot, we'll do it.
Around right here. There we go, guys. Watch out for that. This branch is the terminal branch. Oh, and that one too. Yikes.
I don't know if I can do it without stabbing myself. Try it. Oh man, that got too close to you. We did
Oh,
okay.
there's one behind us too. Holy cow. Oh, mans. Watch your eyes, buddy.
Alright, man. Right in between them.
Yep, with that branch.
I gotta move again. I'm driving Minion's face right into him.
He's like, don't run me into the tree, Dad.
I realized it was going to be a goggles adventure.
Just throwing the branch back. Yeah, watch his face. There we go. We did it, man. Watch your eyes.
We did it, man. We avoided all the issues.
Got more coming, though. I'm going to put my
I've
hood
gotten
over my
very
face.
used to driving, so the Minion's head is always in the clear spot.
Right?
I don't know about the rest of us, but Minion's okay. That's not a thorn one. You're gonna make it, Minion. You're gonna make it.
What you doing, little baby? What you
Oh, I
doing?
made it, man.
What you doing, baby boy? What you doing? What? You're such a baby. You little baby, handsome baby. That's what you do, big baby. I love you so many. I love you the most of minis. The many minis. Yeah, I love you many.
The garage.
You're so fucking perfect, man. Oh, you're such a good dog. You're such a good
Back at the
dog.
homestead.
I am blessed to have you, Jax. I am blessed. Thank you, Jax. I am blessed. Thank you, God.
And Aslan is excited to see us.
Praise God.
Hi, Az.
Praise God.
Open the garage.
Praise God.
Back right in.
Praise God.
Maybe four-wheel drive. We did it! We did it!
Made him, Mince.
We did it. All right, Minion. You're now freed. Freed from the things. Come here. Come here. Did we do it? Did we do it? Did we do the go places? We didn't really do things, but we went places. Now we're home. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Now you guys know more about what the homestead looks like. I like to keep stuff natural. I like foraging. I like hunting more than I like turning everything into a conventional farm, which most homesteaders tend to lean towards. I tend to lean more towards the natural way of doing stuff, and I want to keep all that natural. Maybe a cabin or two here or there, but for the most part, I'm just gonna let it chill and be nature. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.
We're super excited.
Wow, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was 110 student loans and 70K in car loans.
Man,
Jeez,
you knocked it. Way to go, kiddo. I bet you
We
feel
did.
like
We feel
free.
really good. Thank you. Yes, thanks to you guys. I mean, we followed the baby steps. We got really intentional and had 3 babies along the way, but we did it.
Very good. Good for you. So how can we help today?
Thanks. Well, now I'm in baby steps 4, 5, and 6. I have a mortgage of $390, and I'm saving for kids' college and also our retirement. So I'm doing 15% on my 401k. And my question is, my husband's a police officer, and he is on a he's going to receive a pension, which is 75% of his
income at retirement, and he does not have a 401k there. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I fund his 15% for retirement?
Okay. It's our 15%. So we add up our total household income, and we need to get 15% in retirement somewhere. So we do not have a 401k at his place to work with. We have one at your place to work with. And you have 2 Roth IRAs you could do as well. So another $6,000 each there. And so if you maxed out your 401k and you maxed out $12,000 worth of 2 Roth IRAs, would that equal 15% of your household income?
Well, my household is $210,000.
Okay. So you need about $30,000 going in. Yeah, you're going to get close. You're not quite going to be there. But you're probably just going to max your 401k and max 2 Roths. And that's about as close as you can get, unless you got some self-employed income anywhere, do you?
I do not, no.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think you're probably limited to that. He does not even have a 403B at the police department?
I just asked him that to look into it a little bit more. He said he was not aware of anything like that, but I'm going to check in a little bit more, because I've heard of that one, but I wasn't
most of them
sure
have
exactly
deferred
what that
comp.
was.
Most of them have a deferred comp 457 and or a 403B in addition to pension, and both of those would work. I would rather use your 401k and max it out, and then do 2 Roths. And if that doesn't get there, then I would use a 403B or a 457, one of the two. They'd be my last choice, though. To get to the whole 15%. But the point is, we're dealing with 210 times 0.15, so we're $31,000. We're trying to get $31,000 into something. That's the point.
Okay.
And that's so between those two, and it doesn't matter whose name it's in, because you have marital rights to your 401k of your spouse. Whether, in other words, if there's a divorce, that's an asset that's laying there that gets divided up. So if it's all in your name, it doesn't matter. Like the big 401k load up I'm talking about here. But the point is, just take your household income, 15% going into something for retirement. And the best thing out there, folks, for those of you listening, is a match. You want to do that first. The second best thing is Roth. The best thing of all is Roth with a match, okay? But match, Roth, traditional. So match beats Roth beats traditional. It's rock, paper, scissors, except there's only one way to win, okay? Match beats Roth beats traditional. And if you just go down that path, then you can do. And so the 403B and 457 would fall in the heading of traditional, because they're tax deferred like a traditional IRA, traditional 401k. Same mess there. Same pile of fish hooks. Danon is with us in Morgantown, West Virginia. Is it Danon? Is that correct?
Yes, it's Danon, sir.
Sure. How can I help?
Absolutely, Dave. So I have about $74,000 worth of debt, 60 of which is my house. At the end of the year, I'll have my car paid off, which is the other 14, and then I'm getting a $20,000 bonus from the military. Not for sure if I should use that on buying a new house or just throw all of it at my current house.
What's the bonus for?
The military. It's my re-enlistment bonus.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Thanks for serving. What branch do you serve in?
The Navy, sir.
Okay, cool. Good for you. All right. How long have you been serving?
About 6 years.
Okay. So you may have landed there and going to stay there, huh? In that location, or are they going to move you?
So no, I'm reserves. I live out of Morgantown, West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
And I do travel 4 times a year with the military.
Gotcha. It's reserves. Okay. All right. That part I didn't catch. Okay. That makes more sense then, because you're and 100% then I'm throwing that at the house. So you're in baby steps 4, what we call 4, 5, and 6. You have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses?
I have roughly 2 right now. I'm currently throwing into it.
Well, when you get the car paid off, let's beef up that emergency fund. Okay? And so a fully funded emergency fund and debt-free but the house leaves you in baby steps 4, 5, and 6. And now you're starting to attack that way, and you just throw the money at the house at that point. Let's just get this house paid off. You only owe $60 grand. Way to go, man. You're killing it. Good job. This is The Ramsey Show. You've been gazelle intense, you've eaten more beans and rice than you knew existed, and now you're ready to make your biggest investment better. Blinds.com is a great way to dress up a room or your entire home. Could help us. We could use your help. Big time. You want to help? Ready, set, go. Here's what you do. Click follow or share the show or subscribe or leave a 5-star review. Mama said if you ain't got anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So try that, you little trolls. And, have some fun out there, people. Hey, spread the word. We appreciate it very much. We know that we were the 4th show in history on Apple Podcasts to have 1 billion downloads. That was a year and a half ago. Joe Rogan was one of the first, and it's one of the NPRs, and then us. And now we're at 1.5 billion downloads, where you get about 1 billion minutes watched on YouTube every 35 minutes. It's crazy. I mean, it's nuts. I mean,
I need to call my mom
these
real
billions
quick.
and billions of you are. I mean, the number of hours and minutes consumed by you guys out there is crazy. Thank you so much. So we know you're there, and we know you're spreading the word because the numbers are growing. So thank you, and continue to share the show and spread the word and subscribe and follow and all that kind of stuff. It does help us because it changes the algorithms and, pushes the show forward to other people to see it. Lauren is in New York City. Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon, Dave.
Afternoon. How can I help?
That's so cool.
I am
Oh,
at a point
man.
where I am drowning in credit card debt. I have about $70,000 in credit card debt currently, and I can't really stop the bleeding. It's all due to attorney fees.
You paid $75,000
God
in
bless.
attorney's fees?
God bless, man.
Also moving, I was in a situation where I was married, and my husband was an alcoholic and substance abuser, and I had to get out of that situation. Get
So what did you spend to move?
I'm in Westchester, so it was about $9,000 to move between broker fees.
So you spent
security,
$60,000 on lawyer fees?
Yes.
For what?
I've had to fight tooth and nail for my child. It's been a very challenging court case. At this point, the court has ruled he cannot have access to my 9-year-old daughter. But it's been contempt orders and violation, not on my part, on his. And it also there's an attorney guardian ad litem as well. So I'm paying both of the attorneys. It's just been a very harrowing experience that we are thankfully going to come to the end of, hope soon, by the end of the year.
Okay, so the bleeding is stopping then. And
it will.
what a horrible
towards
thing
the end
you've
of the
been
year.
through. I'm so sorry. What do you make? What's your income?
I make $90,000 a year, and I'm in a very expensive area that I'm not legally allowed to leave. I am currently working at a nonprofit organization, and I can make more money. I have a doctorate in physical therapy, but I am tied to my job for the next 2.5 years because I have extensive student loans totaling in the amount of $260,000, and I'm in public service loan forgiveness, and I only pay $414 a month. So after that, my loans will be forgiven. So plus they're very flexible. I have a daughter with special needs, so I'm really kind of stuck at that amount right now, making that $90,000. So the way it stands right now, I'm basically barely making my bills at this point, and I do not receive any type of child support or anything like that. And I'm just making the bare minimum on the credit card payments. And so I'm trying to figure out when this is all said and done, and I can, I can't touch anything right now.
Is there any financial settlement that you're going to get from the divorce?
No, there's absolutely nothing. I'll be lucky if I get child support at this point. I'm not going to bank on anything at this point.
If you could, I understand the limitations based on the loan forgiveness, but could you practice physical therapy today, just theoretically on paper, with your current qualifications?
The answer is yes. but I also have a daughter with special needs that requires a lot of my time. And if I had to pay for childcare, that would, plus finding a provider that would be able to provide that childcare, I'm kind of in, a very difficult situation.
So no family support or friends in Westchester at all that could help out?
No. My family is from Florida. I don't have any family here.
Okay. So here's what's going to happen. Something's going to explode because you have painted a picture that says, I'm stuck in the corner and everything around me is wet paint and I can't move. And yet you're going to get your feet, you're going to get paint on your feet. Something's going to give. This is not sustainable. That's why you called us. So
yes.
I don't know what it is that's going to give, but something's going to happen here, and it's not going to be pretty. You're going to have another set of problems and anxiety-ridden mess following this anxiety-ridden mess of a divorce, because you painted yourself into this corner of, I don't have any choices. I don't have any choices. You better make some, because what you're telling me isn't sustainable, and you know it's not sustainable. So you need to get your lawyer that's so dadgum expensive to go before the court and get you out of Westchester County, and you need to forget the stupid loan forgiveness, because you're probably not going to get it, and you need to go make about $200,000 a year and get your freaking life back or something. I don't know what it is, but something's got to change. Because everything that we bring up, everything we talk to you and ask you about is a trap. I'm trapped. I'm trapped. I'm trapped. I'm trapped. That was the answer to every one of your questions. I don't have any choices. I don't have any choices. And yet the math is not working. So math will not give you a pass. Math does not believe in grace. Math does not believe in mercy. It's going to come for you. And it already is, and you're feeling it, and that's why you're calling. So I'm not trying to scare you, but your process, by all the stress you've been through and all the damage you've been through, it has made you believe that you are trapped and don't have choices, and I'm challenging that. You do have choices, and you better make some. You better change something here, because you're not going to get help from him. I'm betting that the student loan forgiveness doesn't work, because such a low percentage of those actually do go through. And you may have sacrificed a great income for a lousy income. And I don't think you're trapped there. I think if you go before the judge and go, Your Honor, I don't make enough money to live in Westchester. I can't live here. Help me out here. Where can I go? What can you tell me what to do? And you go before the judge with that plea, and then you go, okay, now how am I going to work with this special needs child and give them proper care and also be able to feed them and house them? And so you can't, the math that you've given me doesn't work, doesn't continue. Something's going to come up short. And it's going to choose you if you don't choose it. That's what I'm saying. So you're not stuck, but you do have a very difficult situation. And part of it is you're my heart's breaking for you, honey, because I hear your language as if you have been abused in this relationship. So if you were in a domestic violence situation, one of the things the abuser convinces the person of is that they don't have any choices and that they're stuck. You can't leave. You can't afford to live without me. So you have to stay and let me be my punching bag. And so that's one of the lies they tell, and then you start to believe that lie yourself. Now you broke free of this guy, but your language of I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck is breaking my heart, because it still sounds like he still owns you. And I want you free from him and free from this trap and free from all this. I wish I had a magic wand. I could just say there's an instant thing here. But the one thing I will tell you is you got to make some different choices.
Yeah.
It's not working for you, huh?
You know,
I'm so sorry.
She can find people that can help take care of the child, but she's the only one that can feed the child. And so for that reason, I would drive this home. I would be getting into physical therapy and making the most money possible. Yeah. That gives you more options.
I'm stuck in a nonprofit making no money in the most expensive county in freaking New York area, except possibly Manhattan. This is The Ramsey Show. brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Ken Coleman, #1 best-selling author, host of the Ken Coleman podcast on the Ramsey Networks. He's my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jordan is in Columbia, Missouri. Hi, Jordan. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Yeah, so my burning question is that I'm getting married here shortly. I've got a good chunk of cash saved up. We're looking at getting into the real estate market, but we'd like to know, before we start having kids, what the lowest risk method is for what we have in front of us.
You're talking about your home or a rental property?
Rental, building spec, and sell. It's a toss-up in the air. I'd really like to know kind of what the best.
But you own a home that you live in.
We are actually currently building a house that we're about to start living in.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, and is it paid for?
We're going to have about a $40,000 note. The rest we paid in cash.
Good. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is pay that off.
Okay.
Okay. Now, then when I've done that, then what type of real estate? Now, there's real estate investing, which is a buy and keep it idea. And then there's real estate speculation, which is why they call them spec homes. If you're building a spec home, it's a speculation that you can sell it. It's a short-term play. It's not a long-term play. It is speculation. Flipping houses is speculation. And both are high risk because, obviously, if you pay cash for them, it's not as much risk. But if you pay cash for a house, fix it up and flip it, if it doesn't flip, at least you're sitting there with a paid-for house, right? You figure it out. You could rent it or do something else. But you need to separate the mentality of what is the lowest risk. The lowest risk is a buy-and-hold strategy because real estate goes up over time. When you have to sell that spec house or your money's sitting there burning taxes, property taxes, it's burning insurance, even if you don't have a note on it, it's sitting there burning money until you sell it, whether it's a flip or an actual build of a spec house. But that's speculating is short-term, investing is long-term. Now, when you go to investing, probably the entry point would be a good home, single-family home in a solid neighborhood. Not super expensive, but also not trashy.
Okay.
That's the lowest risk.
Okay. Okay. Can I ask you this as well?
Sure.
So where we live, there is a lot of inflating house prices, if you must. So there's not a whole lot in the market below the $250,000 range, probably within a 15 to 30 mile radius. And so with that, I actually work for a builder, and so one of the initiatives that they've talked about, but I'd really like to do, is
I ain't gonna lie. I fucked this up.
Speculation home.
Maybe sour cream will
to
help
a
it.
lower income family, simply because I
don't know if
have
that's a
the
good combo, but fuck
high
it.
confidence that it would sell quickly, just because there's nothing really in the market for it.
Okay.
What's your thoughts?
That's just, it's just a side hustle. It's not an investment.
Okay.
It's just your side hustle is you're building houses that you flip. Okay.
Gotcha.
And that's not bad if you're paying cash for it.
these things might be cooks.
And if you've analyzed and said, okay, what are all the downsides? So what happens? And you got to be able to answer this question and not throw up.
Soon.
What happens if this house doesn't sell for you after you finish it?
Fucked.
Spend a lot
Burnt.
Okay. I'm just saying you got to be ready for that because I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, and I think you probably do know the market. You're probably right. In most markets in America, if you build something less than the median house price in the area, you have a very marketable property because entry-level properties are just non-existent. They're very hard to find. And so whatever the median price is, and you said in your area it sounds like it's $250 then there. So if you build something in that 150 range that's a nice little home, man, it'll probably go fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I walked through one that's about let me think how far. It's probably 80 miles or something like that outside of Nashville. So it's out in the country.
Okay.
Down there, one of my lake houses, there's a guy building a house on the corner up there, and I walked it one day, and he was in there, and I walked it with him. I was like, wow, this is a nice little, it's a 1,750-foot little 3-bedroom, okay, 3-bedroom, bath and a half, 2-car garage, and not super fancy, but it was well built, nice little brick and siding house, right? And it was 188 grand. It was unbelievable. I thought, wow, this is like, all these people out here, you can't buy it. Well, yeah, you can't. But, I mean, it's out there. It's out in the country. You know, it's not. And where you are, you're probably in a similar feel, in the Columbia. Columbia's not a huge town. And, you know, there's a whole bunch of Columbia-esque sized towns around you. But you got to get all the way to St. Louis or Kansas City or even Jeff City before you get to a major town, right?
Right.
And so you got a lot of rural rings around you, if you will, that could fall like that little house I'm talking about. But that was a sweet little house, and not a bad, I mean, I'm thinking a young couple coming in there or somebody wanting to downsize. It's brand new everything, of course, dishwashers and all that stuff. And it's like, God, man, I could have lived there easy when we first got married and called that a palace, you know? But again, it's freaking hour and a half or more to Nashville. So, and in this area, that's considered a crazy commute. So, but my point is that if you get below that median house price, and that house sold, I mean, before he broke ground on it, probably. I mean, he sold that thing so fast. That's a great place in the marketplace. So I think what you're talking about makes sense. Is my point. But I'm not an expert on your particular market. But that's a good place to be. If you told me you wanted to build $1 million houses in a 250 market as spec, I'd tell you don't do it. Because you're gonna get end up with $1 million sitting there. But that's not what you're talking about. So.
Do you have a temperature for him, whether it be renovate something or build something brand new in that
He's
space?
in the home building business. He's got the itch. He's going to build.
Right.
He's going to do it.
I think you're right.
I would tell most people not to do it, but he's in the business.
I agree. And to your point, at that price range, I would imagine they're going to have a lot of people trying to get in that house if he builds it at the right price.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, there'll be a line around the block, I suspect. Yeah. So that's, again, the point is this... it's not really starter housing, but it's anything below the median price point.
Yep.
The median meaning middle.
Almost got put to rest by a cause.
The median house price nationally right now, I think, is it's bumping up close to 400. And so forever, what's it saying?
It says 394.
Oh, there we go. Almost like I knew what I was talking about. Who knew?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Okay. So let's call it 400. Yeah.
Oh, that was the listing price. The median sold price was 288 in Columbia as of April.
Oh no, that's Columbia.
Columbia, Missouri.
Oh, I was talking about nationally.
Oh, sorry, I was pulling up his area.
Yeah, nationally would be over 400. Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'm probably wrong.
Sorry, I went to Columbia.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Good place to go. This is the Ramsey Show. I've been doing this show for over 30 years, and some of the saddest calls I have taken are from situations that are completely preventable.
Yeah, and what's so hard is I feel like
Enchilada
one
time.
of those, especially the ones that I'm like,
that shit got burnt
it's
and
terrible.
put in the microwave.
People that call in and their
I thought
spouse has passed away suddenly, and they don't have life insurance.
Pressure
We actually
cooker
took
with the
a question
no, I
of a
was
lady,
wrong.
and she had 3 kids, pregnant, and husband didn't have life insurance, and I'm like, I can't even imagine. Or even if it was opposite, right? If a mom passed away, there's a dad with kids and trying to figure out, how am I going to afford childcare? How do I outsource some stuff that maybe she was doing? Like, and it just takes the grief and the sadness of something like a sudden death to a whole new level. Like when you have to think through, how am I going to pay my bills
How am I
in
going
the
to
middle
eat next week?
Yeah, in the middle of all that grief, like it's terrible. And so life insurance is the one thing, especially as a mom with 3 little kids, that I'm like so big on for people to get because it's inexpensive. Xander is the place that Winston and I actually get all of our life insurance, and we keep re-upping it because I'm like, I just want it there. Like there's something about that safety of knowing that you have money if something suddenly happens.
And it doesn't cost much because Xander shops among a gazillion different companies. It doesn't cost much. You just have to admit that someday you're not going to be here. You got to say it out loud, and you got to say, I'm going to say I love you to my family by taking care of them and taking the time to put this stuff in place. It costs us stinking pizza.
It really is. So that is one thing to do, to say I love you to your family.
So we've used Xander for all of our family's needs for insurance for many years, including, of course, term life insurance. To get a free quote, go to 800-356-4282. That's 800-356-4282, or go to Xander.com. May 21 and 22, I'm going to be doing a 2-night virtual event, meaning you have to be there both nights or you won't see everything. And I'm going to unpack my personal playbook on buying real estate and on investing. And it's an advanced investing class, Dave Ramsey's Investing Essentials. I've never taught this stuff before. It's stuff I do and have learned over the years, but it's not stuff I have taught. So if you want to do an advanced investing class, it's $199. We've got, 3,000 or 4,000 already signed up for it. Thank you for coming. We appreciate that. And if you're interested, it's RamseySolutions.com/events, and that's Dave Ramsey's Investing Essentials. We'll be taking questions live throughout this class as well, and George Campbell's going to help me with the whole process because he knows how to interrupt me and answer a question and all that. So we're going to do that. It's going to be fun. We've already been talking about it and laughing out loud as to how much fun it's going to be. But George is always fun. I mean,
he's hysterical.
Yeah. Diana is in Philadelphia. Hi, Diana. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So my question is, my husband and I are deciding whether we should buy a new car or not. We are looking at used. The situation basically is right now we both have vehicles. My car, I have a $350 car payment on. My husband's car is paid off. It has about 100,000 miles. And it is out of inspection. It has no air conditioning. It needs about $4,000 worth of work. We do have 2 young children, so, we do rely on that vehicle as well for transportation. So my question basically is,
if it's out of inspection, does it have a tag on it?
Yeah, so when I say it's out of inspection, it's as of this month. So it's something where we're coming up on about, should we pay to have all this work done to keep it, inspected and legal after this month is up, or do we go ahead and proceed with starting the process of looking for a new car, a used car, or something along those lines?
Okay. You don't have any money, do you?
So we have money in savings.
How much?
We have about $20,000 in savings.
Okay. All right. So, the first thing is I'm just calling BS on the 4,000. I think you cooked that number because you wanted to get rid of the car. So, I think you can actually get that car fixed for probably half of that if you start working on it a little bit. But you jacked it up because you're sick of it and you're trying to figure out a way to justify getting a car. If you want to get a car, it's okay, get a car. But I don't think it takes $4,000 to get that car back up and get it running to where it should be to pass inspection. I think you can get a different mechanic to look at it, somebody that's not, I don't know where you went, don't go the dealer to get a car like that worked on for sure. But anyway, let's figure out exactly what's wrong with it, because here's the problem. If you don't get it where it passes inspection, it's going to sell for $4,000 less.
Okay. Right.
You can't give it away.
Yeah, because that was the other thing, is if we traded it into a dealership, versus sell it privately to have
Yeah.
that funds as a down payment.
Yeah, you can't. Well, you've got $20,000, so, you know, I think you probably get the car up and running and where it'll pass inspection for a couple grand and then sell it. And then if you want to sell it and move up in car a little bit with some cash, that's fine. But buying a new car, no, you're broke. You don't have the money for a new car. And you certainly don't need a car payment. And you need to get your car paid off as fast as you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to get out of the car payment business, kiddo, if you don't want to be broke your whole life. If you want to, folks, if you want to be middle class the rest of your whole life, keep a car payment. Mathematically, it'll just hold your butt right there. It'll just keep you from succeeding. It'll keep you from prospering. And just go, well, everybody's got a car payment. It's just the way it is. Car payments are just the way of life. And that's exactly how people that are middle class speak and talk and think. And it just keeps you right there. It just locks you in. You cannot get it. You can't break free from it. And so you got to go, nope, I've had it. Not paying payments on these stupid automobiles ever again. And these are the words of rich people. People that become wealthy are the ones that get rid of car payments. And well, I could get rid of my car payment if I was wealthy. No, you missed the point. You could be wealthy if you got rid of your car payment. You got that backwards. So, now, Diana, that's the cycle I want to break in your whole discussion. I don't care if you fix this car up and sell it and move up into a little better car. It sounds like it's a piece of junk. I don't disagree with you on that. But then we need to get your car paid off as fast as we can. And we need to get in a game plan here where we stop talking about cars as if they're a constant crisis and instead get around in front of it and start managing the vehicles in a way where they don't own us, we own them. And that requires a different thought pattern than well, we're screwed, we got to go get a car payment, and well, we're stuck, can't get an inspection, got to go get a car payment. And that's kind of how your question sounded. Maybe you didn't mean it to sound that way, but that's kind of how it sounded. And you want to break that cycle.
And I'm old school. I didn't have time to pick it apart, but I'd want to know what repairs are necessary just to pass inspection. Tennessee's a whole lot different than Pennsylvania, so it could be sizably different. But if I was worried, I wouldn't be worried about the air conditioning. I think kids these days need to stink and have the windows down and let it blow in their eyes and their hair. My goodness. I mean, I drove a car without air conditioning for a year and a half when Stacey and I first got married because it was a cash car. And I drove in the morning, I drove in the afternoon. Like, come on. So some of these things are about saving up money, suffering a little bit, and how big of a deal is it to suffer and have your kids have the summer air blow through the car? You know, I wouldn't fix the AC on that car.
You sound like a boomer.
I am. On this issue. Here's my point, because then I would say, I'm with Dave. I would spend the minimal to get the inspection and then sell it and then buy a $10,000 car.
And get a car with air conditioning, for God's sakes. But
well, then, yes.
Yeah.
But until then, you tell people not to see the inside of a restaurant. Now, I'm the owner for telling them to let the wind blow through their kids' hair?
I'm just, well, I mean.
Thank you, folks.
Listen, I don't have any hair, so it doesn't matter. So there you go. Mom always called our air conditioner on our old car when I was growing up a 240, 2 windows down, 40 miles an hour. That's what she called it.
I get them a full cup of ice and roll the windows down. Man, just blow right over the car.
A couple of dinosaurs here giving out advice to non-dinosaurs. But, honestly, you drive like no one else so that later you can drive like no one else. So, if you need to go without the AC for a little while to get your goals hit, fine. I've done that too.
Act like it's a convertible. The kids will never know.
But that's it's not like this is like this is somehow better. You know, they don't build them like they used to. Thank God they were a piece of crap. Thank God they're better now. But so check all that out. But do the minimal and get the inspection, get the car running, keep your family going, get your car paid off, then save up and buy up in car, and save up and buy up in car, and save up and buy up in car. As you build wealth, move into better and better cars. Never again a car payment, and never again a new car until you have at least $1 million net worth. There's some good rules for you guys, okay? And for you, Diana, as well. Thank you for calling. We appreciate you joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Here's the numbers. A new car loses, according to Kelley Blue Book and according to Yahoo Finance and about 3 other sources, a new car loses 60% of its value in the first 5 years. So that means if you buy a $40,000 car, when you drive it off the lot and you hear that sound going over the curb, boom, boom, when you went into the street, that sound was $10,000. That's the first drop. As soon as you get it, as soon as it's titled to an individual and it touches the street, it's going to drop 20-25% that day. Okay? Then from there, you're going to lose the rest of that 60%. So $40,000, that means you're going to lose $24,000. That means your $40,000 car in 5 years is going to be a $16,000 car. Okay? And that's a new car. Now, if you lose $24,000 every 5 years, don't be scratching your head and wondering why you don't have wealth. It's because you're driving it down the sewer, okay? You're causing this, and so you can afford to take that hit if you got $1 million. You can't afford to take that hit if you're broke. This is the Ramsey Show. You know, it doesn't take a degree in statistics to realize that this one stinks. 93% of undergraduate private student loans are co-signed. So when you're delinquent and drowning in private student loan debt, mom or dad or Uncle Joe is stuck in that financial stress along with you. But there is a way out. Why Refi? Why Refi offers a custom refinancing option with a fixed rate loan based on your ability to pay. And the average interest rate Why Refi offers is 3.9%, which can significantly reduce your monthly payment and decrease your total cost. Why Refi refinances your defaulted private student loans that other places won't touch. And I trust them to help you get out of debt. So don't be another statistic in the student loan swamp. Contact Why Refi at 844-2-RAMSEY or go to whyrefi.com/Ramsey. That's 844-2-RAMSEY or the letter Y, then REFY.com/Ramsey.
Son of a bitch! Just fucking die already!
Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Thomas is in Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, Thomas, how are you?
Hey, Dave, how are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I've been following you for quite a while, and me and my wife have been treating debt like it's cancer. We've been living kind of frugally, and I'm left with about 15 to 20 credit cards that are completely paid off, and we can't decide what to do with them because our credit score is so good. We can't decide whether we want to close them or just hold on to them.
Okay, I'm confused. I thought you said you were following us. And that you said you hated debt. Is that the same guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you hate debt, why do you need a credit score?
And that's where I'm at, but this is where the contention comes from. I don't think my wife's quite where I'm at as far as.
So she doesn't hate debt. She wants more debt.
It kind of feels like that, yes, sir.
Okay. Well, that's a different issue.
Sometimes it feels that way, yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, if you want debt, you do need a credit score. If you want to go into debt, credit score is a good thing.
Yes, sir.
But it's the antithesis of building wealth, because your most powerful wealth building tool is your income. And when you give all your income to other people because you stay in debt all the time, then you're going to be broke your whole life and build other people tall buildings, not your own. And,
yes, sir.
So our goal here is to get you out of debt so that you can become wealthy. And the only way a credit score is built, it's 100% based on how you interface with debt. And it's for the purpose of getting in debt. And the way you get a good score is get in debt so that later you can get into more debt so that you run your score up so you can get into more debt so that you run your score up so you can get into more debt. And that's the essence of the FICO score. We worship at the altar of the great FICO. We bring him offerings of interest and say, oh, great FICO, thank you for being my provider and letting me buy crap I can't afford with money I don't have to impress people I don't really like. And that's the whole purpose of FICO.
Yeah,
If you
it feels
want,
like a generational curse almost.
yeah, it is. It's exactly what it is. And it's designed to prosper the bank. It's not designed to prosper you. But people get caught up in this false measure of success. It's not a real measure of success. So, that's what you guys have to decide at your house. And then once you decide that, it's an easy fix. You just close the accounts and chop up the stupid cards, have a plastic surgery.
Now, do you recommend keeping any credit cards?
I don't have any. I haven't
Zero.
had. My credit score is indeterminable, known as 0.
Wow.
Just like the interest I pay, 0.
It's almost hard. It's almost hard to imagine because I've spent the past 10 years building my credit. Focusing on. I've always been.
Once you belong to the FICO cult, it's hard to get out because they brainwash you. But because what you have to actually do is intellectually decide, is this a measure of success? And my contention is it is not a measure of success, that net worth and income are measures of financial success, not a score that says I've borrowed money a lot.
Right.
And made them successful.
I told my wife today, I said, I'll be a millionaire by the time I'm 35.
No, you won't.
By the time I retire, I'll have $1 million.
No, you won't. You're not going to. Not unless you fix this problem.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to cut those credit cards up today.
Okay.
And call those companies.
And close the account.
All right. And close the accounts.
All right. Well, and you better be on board with your spouse in doing this. I'm not trying to cause a divorce here, okay? I mean, the two of you need to sit down and talk about where you want to be. But if that's how you're going to live, you are going to be a millionaire. Because that's the secret. I mean, it's not a secret. It's that you keep your money and invest it instead of giving it to Ford Motor Company and MasterCard and Amazon freaking Prime. And everybody else is profiting off your butt. All you do is work for other people and give your money to them all your life. And that is the essence of debt. And so when you quit doing that, it's magical how much money you have.
It reminds me of one of my favorite lines from a movie. Forrest Whitaker's the actor. It's called The Great Debater. It's a true story. And at some point in the movie, his son, who's all into debate, he's a great student, but he's spending all of his time in debate club, and he's letting his studies start to slip, and his dad's getting on him, and he runs out with an attitude, and his father follows him out on the porch, and Forrest Whitaker says, son, do what you have to do, then you get to do what you want to do. And that's the essence of the matrix that everybody's in, because, see, credit cards say do what you want to do. But wealthy people, they've already figured it out, and they go, I'm going to do what I have to do so that later I can do what I want to do. And this applies to money. And so if I have to wait to save up to buy something, if I have to wait to do the vacation I want to, if I have to wait to pay off my debt, my student loan, the idea here is that there is a difference. There's two very clear paths. One is the path to average, and the other is the path to excellence. And really wealthy people, it's a much smaller path, and they figure that self-delayed. They can delay gratification. They can figure out discipline because they got their eye on the prize. They're thinking 30 years from now. That's what they're thinking. And you got to pull yourself out of the matrix.
I don't want to wait 30 years to live my life. Well, it's not going to be 30 years, duper. I mean, it's going to be 30 months for you to get debt free and start having an emergency fund and start to get control. It doesn't take that long. But yeah, after 30 years, you're going to have millions.
To be really wealthy, yeah.
Millions.
You have to have that long view.
If you live like no one else later, you'll get to live like no one else. Zig Ziglar and the great motivators used to say, if you want the things that other people don't have, you have to do the things that other people won't do.
Yes.
And so decide. What does it look like? What does your life look like to be different than average? Because average is broke with a car payment and a student loan that's been around so long you think it's a pet, average is credit cards are necessary. I'm going to get rich on airline miles. The dumbest butt statement I've ever heard in my life. I'm gonna make my money on Discover points. Let's do the calculation on that one, okay, shall we? You run $100,000 on your Discover card. They give you 1% back. That's $1,000. In what school of thought does turning $100,000 into $1,000 cause you to be wealthy? What logic is in? How much drugs did your parents have to do for you to believe that turning 100,000 into 1,000 is a path to wealth? I mean, the 70s were good to your folks. I'm just saying. Oh my God! Wow. I mean, that's about as dumb as a rock right there. But people, they look at me straight in the face with this sincere thing that this is a methodology for building wealth. I'm going to take 100 grand turned into 1 grand, and that's wealthy. Huh? That's just dumber than it's hard to get my head around. So, but these are the mythology that average normal people believe.
The Matrix, yeah.
And for God's sakes, don't challenge their little myth, because they get all pissed off if you challenge their falsehood that they're living right square in the middle of and believing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they get all TikTok on you then, man, and just turn you into a meme. I'm just saying, I know a guy that happened to. So.
Yeah. Oh man, it really is funny though. The cultural, like, you've got to have the credit score. You heard it right out of his mouth. By the way, there's nothing wrong with him. He's literally repeating what 9 out of 10 people repeat, which is, I got to have the credit score to actually be a functioning human being.
So what do we got? Just under 400 million people in America roughly now, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that's right.
There's 26 million millionaires. 26 million millionaires out of 400. So what is that? That's...
well, just, what is it, 5%? A little over 5?
Right around 5%. So that means that if you are doing the things that we're talking about, you're in the top 5% of people in America. And then there's the rest of you.
That's right.
That are just going to keep doing the stupid butt stuff over and over and over again until somebody yells at you enough that you'll get your attention. It's like, oh, I have my plan. Well, good luck with that. Look at how it's working for you. Your $1,200 car lease. Dumber than a rock. This is the Ramsey Show.
Yep, I am dumber than a rock, but I'm learning now. My bad, Cam, my bad. We're learning.
Hey guys, it's Rachel Cruz here to tell you about a faith-based alternative to health insurance that can make healthcare more affordable. Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM allows members to share each other's healthcare costs, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1, choose the healthcare provider you want. Step 2, submit your eligible bills. And step 3, get reimbursed. CHM members take care of your eligible medical bills. With no networks and the freedom to choose your healthcare provider, CHM is the best option for Christians who want to take care of their families and help other believers. Find out more at chministries.org/budget.
Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Perfect question of the day for you with your frustrated sports announcer voice.
I saw this. I'm a little excited.
Today's question comes from Nathan in Michigan.
By the way, I should point out that Nathan is from the state that has the national championship undefeated Michigan Wolverine football team. Just want to point that out.
Just like you're trying to say go blue is what you're
I really am trying to get away with it.
Yeah.
All right, here's the question from Nathan. What is your opinion on the recent changes allowing college athletes to profit from their name, image, and likeness? For sports fans, you know this as NIL. For non-sports fans, when you...
Everybody. Guys, I'm seeing just a different level of hate watching, a different level of super fan coming out of people. I'm not even sure if I should name who they are. copying my build, copying my stats, copying all my strategies, copying my music taste, copying my camera placement, copying my... crazy levels of fanboy are coming out of some people I'm seeing here. It's crazy. Jeez, guys, I mean, imagine if I actually was speedrunning. Imagine if I would, the game would be done, guys. I would have beat the game. I would have had it done. I'm setting records, guys. We're on a record-setting run. I don't even know if I should try to compete with these there is no competition. I mean, this is ridiculous. Guys, I didn't have anything upgraded. I didn't have the right stats. I didn't have the right gear. And now I've upgraded my shit. And all of a sudden, I'm decimating the game. I'm destroying the entire game now, all right? Soda Poppin has literally never beat me in anything ever in his entire life. And this guy's played this game 8 times off stream. He's researched everything. I mean, it's not even... I could literally dust this dude immediately. I'm trying to digest my food. All right, good start to the day. Good start to the day right there. So that's why I'm telling you guys, I need to warm up, bro. I need to warm the fuck up. This guy looks fairly tough. Honestly, I think I'm gonna avoid that guy. That guy looks kind of gnarly, unless I just murk him right now. Oh, does he need that? Okay. Am I just whooping this guy's ass, bro? Oh, shit. Oh, God, that hurt. Come on. Kaidamir. What? Bro's on the run. Look at him running. He's running. I'm getting fucking dizzy. Oh my god, I'm getting dizzy. Fuck. We gotta lock in. Woo! Instantly, huh? Are you kidding me? Ash of War, Giant Hunt, Knight Rider Glaive. That's crazy. I get some gear. I'm playing a different game. God, my horse isn't even upgraded either. All right, let's take 5. Let's take 5. I'm getting dizzy. Hour and a half intro, play 5 minutes, take a break. I mean, let's just see. What do we got? Any clips here? Let's see. What the fuck is hitting me? Wait, oh my god, I'm burnt. What the fuck is happening? Oh my god, I need to get away from this goddamn tower, bro. Alright, we need a grace right now. We are not going up that way. I don't know what the fuck that was. If there's no grace back there, I'm going in. We're going the distance, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's all we can do. Bro, look at this large-ass building. There we go. Graced up, ladies and gentlemen, like it's nothing, alright? Okay, here we go. We're in the right spot. We've got to be. How get through to 91 deaths? Because I'm pushing the game to its limits. Grand Lift of Dectus. I'm not going to look at the chat. I don't know what the fuck you guys are saying right now. I'm lost here. I'm not sure where to go. Jump? Should we actually jump? Fuck it, I'm going. Scared the shit out of me. Alright. Yeah, we're not gonna count that death. We're not gonna count that death. That's totally fine. Okay, cool. We don't have to count that death. Perfect, don't mind that. What's this? Oh, maybe it's up here. Maybe we gotta go tunnel over here to go under. We can't do shit here. We're cooked. Yep, I'm fucking genius. That's gotta be it. You see that? Guys, I know exactly what the fuck's going on. There's nowhere to go there. Alright, we're going deep. Holy shit, alright. What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? You serious, bro? What is wrong with the jumping in this game, man? We're not gonna count that death either. We're still at 391. That's fine. That's fine. We're still at 391. I'm chilling then. Church! Oh my god, that's huge. That's huge. That's so massive. That's so massive. We can upgrade our flask right now. Sacred Tear. Charge up. Low key, I think it might be good for a pee break right now. Increase amount. Massive. We're just gonna go deep then. We're going deep down. We're definitely skipping this mob. Any mob with a shield, I'm just not fighting. It's just such a waste of time. They're too powerful. Feeling like there could be a boss out here too. What are the lakes? Yeah, we need Grace. Is that Grace right there? No. Some Firefly bullshit. Oh, Golden Seed. That's huge. That's huge. Only thing that can make this any better is getting graced up immediately here before we get murked. Smithing Stone. That's big, I think. That might be good. What the fuck do you mean blind? Dude, you guys are actually trolling. There's no way. See, I got my bad contact in. There it is. There it is. Let's touch that shit. Huge. Absolutely huge. Fuck, I need another seed. Let's turn on our lantern. What is this? Whoa, shit. Ashes of Barbaric Roar. I don't know what that is. So those things give me ashes? I've skipped a lot of those. I thought they just give me potions. Average, think that's up. No, Thanos, think that's up. Okay. Let's just roll. Let's go up. We're graced up. We're good. We got 5 flasks. It's good enough. Okay, here we go. Nice. Looks like some kryptonite shit in here. Let's roll. Okay, we're going up way high. We need to find grace right now. Holy shit. Yes, we got it. Huge! We're cooking now, Bro, we're at 98 subs today, almost triple digits. And we haven't died a single time today. How crazy is that? Not one death is crazy. I'm gonna go back inside. I just had to get that grace real quick. We'll go back inside and see if there's like a boss in here or something. All right, well, there's nothing in here. We out. Let's see. Wait, I didn't know you could buy anything off this. I've never used this. Guys, how I hold the controller is claw grip. So I get the flask. What is this? Summons 3. Oh, this is where I can buy summons and just cheat and everything? Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, this guy doesn't sell anything useful, by the way. You guys are idiots. What is Wondrous Physic? I don't need that shit. It's too OP. Sounds too OP. Yeah, no bolstering materials. Unless I offer a bell bearing. Should I offer him a bearing? What does that do? This is ass. This doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. Fuck it. We don't need a weapon upgrade. We're fine. If you want to upgrade shit, you gotta explore. I need to go back to a low-level cave. I'm getting cock blocked by 1 stone. Holy shit. Not counting that death either. That death does not count. Do you hear that music? Busy, did that sub? Yo, this looks gnarly. I'm not sure what's about to happen here. Oh, it's an enemy. It's an enemy, alright. Okay, just smoked him. Perfect. Guys, she was about to attack me. Whoa. Whoa. What the fuck? Bro, 394 deaths. I just got setbacks so far, I'm skipping all of this bullshit now. I'm skipping all of this bullshit. Are you fucking kidding me? What a joke, bro. Skipping everything, baby. Full skip. That's how we do it. Run through. Scope it out. Come on. Get up. No! Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Get off! Oh my god. Touch grace! Yep! There we go. I'm feeling boss time here. Woo! Yeah, I'm thinking it's boss time, ladies and gentlemen. Go time. I don't know what I'm about to see right now. I thought we're gonna see a bat boss, bro. Oh my god. I hear something. What the fuck is going on here? What is this thing? I'm deep inside, though. I'm deep in there. God damn, I do 0 damage to this guy. Okay, tail swipe. That's gonna hurt. That's fine. Just one. Just getting shit on. Heal, please. Alright, I don't wanna complain too much or anything, but we are absolutely hitting a gear wall like 1,000,000%. I'm literally hitting this dude for 0 damage. Yeah, complete fucking gear wall. That's crazy. 4 hits, 4 hits. Getting burned alive, bro. Charging right in. Directly for the head. He's basically dead now. He's basically dead. We've got him now. We've got him right now. 399. If I die right now, I have to get to 100 subs. Are you shitting me? Can't hit him any more times. Yeah, we're not gifting subs till we kill the boss. Gotta kill the boss, guys. No subs gifted till we kill the boss, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I am talking about. I guess we're gonna lock in. I guess we're gonna have to lock in and kill the boss, huh? All right, here we go. First pull, first real attempt right now. First real attempt.
First real.
Knocked him, knocked him, knocked him. Look at that eye. Yeah! What the fuck? What is going on? I've got it now. I'm gonna hit him with 4 left trigger combos. I stab him. I get behind him. When he does that shit, you can't be under him. His sword is... he's literally falling on his own sword. Knocked him, knocked him, knocked him. Boom! Stay cool, stay cool, stay cool. Stay in tight, stay in tight! Okay, get in there, get in there, get in there. Yo. Get away from this. No, no. Heal, heal. Up, up, up. Double. Are you fucking kidding me? What? How am I not... how am I not all over this? Where's my damage? Bro, I must have had like, what, 10, 15 autos not land? That guy literally dies there if that shit doesn't happen. I literally get another stagger, I get a bleed proc, and I one-shot him. Nah, okay, alright. He's doing some weird shit this pull. The magma, get out of this shit. 1 minute, 30-second ad. Oh, soda pop.
I'm gonna run a 30-second ad.
You gotta get this up. I'd be running ads on his ass right now. The clown. Holy shit. I've got him at half. I've got him at half. It's not bad. Just gotta damp it out. No more fire. I'm in there. Go time, baby. Holy shit, this dude is a goddamn brick wall. Where are the bleed procs? Where the fuck is my damage, bro? Whooping that ass right now, literally. Nope, nope. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh my god, he's switching stances. He's standing now. Oh god. Yeah, bro. Through the goddamn wall, no shot. That's literally through the wall he hit me. Swing. What the fuck is this? What is this pillar, bro? I'm going in. What? I thought he fell. Oh my god. Run. What a fucking joke, bro. What a goddamn joke. I'm I'm completely fucking We need a knockdown and a bleed proc right now. Alright. We're hitting a gear wall. It's got to be a gear wall. I feel like I'm playing it perfect. I'm literally playing this shit perfect, and I'm just getting gear walled right now. There's just no damage. My sword, I don't know if this is an armor heavy guy, but this dude's literally unkillable, bro. I think I've got him right now, though. I've got him right now. Give me a W right now. I've got him 100% next pull. It's over. It's done. No! What? Run into him. Fuck! Deep in that ass right now. No! 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 Oh my god! Oh my god! What the fuck? It's just the worst. Just the worst RNG I've ever seen. One bleed proc, he's dead. I knocked it down! What the fuck is this bait? Are you? Oh my god! What the worst RNG we've ever seen in our lives, ladies and gentlemen. Can it get any worse? Actually? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! This is the worst! Just the worst. The absolute worst RNG I've ever seen. Holy shit. I've never seen a kill go that poorly where the dude knocks down in the fire and you have to run in. Oh my god, I saw him moving. Heal up. No, this is gonna hurt. Give me a knockdown, bro. He's 1 HP! He's 1 HP! Boom! Ultimate finishing blow, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about. We get some good RNG. There's nothing he can do. Look how simple that shit was. What was that, like 5th try? God, that's so free. Oh my god, that's so free. Underleveled, underpowered, no upgrades, never been done. Crazy. Another fucking record being set. I'm 30. We go max dex. Going dex, 20 dex. I'm doing it, full send. How does the whip work? Should I use the whip for a bit or no? Oh my god, I'm getting shit on. Yo, the whip low-key cranks. I'm dizzy. I'm getting dizzy too, bro. Fuck. Boom! I'm off to stick to the whip, bro. The whip goes stupid. Ancient dragon, huh? All right, let's get it then. Let's get it then. Holy shit, this guy looks insane. Yeah, alright, this might take an attempt or two. Let's drop the whip. Ruler's mask and a robe. Okay, we're gonna mount up. We're gonna cook this guy right now. Get in there, get in there.